Chapter 2012. No one spoke along the way. After returning to 80 Mile City, Xinhai called Qin Fan away while Li Shanshan went to meet up with Emperor Qin and Emperor Qin. In the autumn leaf pavilion that reached the clouds. Young Master Qin, why did the sword peak collapse? Xinhai did not ask this question. Senior Xinhai, I'm not sure either. It should have something to do with this sword skill. Qin Fan took out the sword skill manual that Ah Ku was looking for. The manual opened up in the void and the words inside were displayed. 9 Pulse Legendary Sword, 10,000 swords become one, Sword Formation Realm, Outer Realm Flying Sky. Xinhai was shocked and said, is this the top sword skill that the founder of God's Finger, Senior Immortal Zhu Qing, comprehended? Qin Fan did not expect Immortal Zhu Qing to be so famous that even Xinhai had heard of him. Since he was willing to take out the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword, there was no need to hide it. It should be the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword created by Senior Immortal Zhu Qing, but I heard that the manual is hidden in Ghost City. There is no sword skill in Ghost City, but an immortal weapon. Xinhai said seriously. Qin Fan first heard from Yuanqiu and the others that it was an immortal weapon, but God's Finger told him that there was a 9 Pulse Legendary Sword in Ghost City. That was why he was confused. But the current sect master of God's Finger told me that the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword is hidden in Ghost City. That guy might be lying to you, or maybe even he doesn't know the truth. Shenju Qing was an ultimate god thousands of years ago. Even I can't tell if some of the rumors that have been passed down are true or false. Xinhai continued, but I've been to Ghost City once. It's a terrifying place. Even a cauldron-filling realm expert can be killed easily. I was lucky enough to see the immortal weapon, but I couldn't take it away. Qin Fan was shocked and said, Senior Xinhai has been to Ghost City. What is that immortal weapon? A sword hidden at the peak of a mountain. The mountain is very similar to the sword peak. Now that you found Senior Immortal Zhu Qing's 9 Pulse Legendary Sword in the sword peak, it seems that the immortal weapon in Ghost City is also left by Senior Immortal Zhu Qing. Qin Fan came to a sudden realization. No wonder God's Finger said that there was a 9 Pulse Godly Sword in Ghost City. He wasn't lying. Even he didn't know what was hidden in Ghost City. He must have heard that his Grandmaster's belongings were hidden in the Spirit City, so he thought that it was the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword Technique Manual. Who would have thought that Shenju Qing not only had a peerless sword technique manual, but also a peerless sword? After a short conversation, Qin Fan and Xinhai both believed that the collapse of the sword peak had something to do with the 9 Pulse Godly Sword Manual. When Qin Fan took the manual away, the sword peak ceased to exist. Seeing that Xinhai was very interested in the 9 Pulse Godly Sword secret manual, Qin Fan gave him a copy. However, this secret manual belonged to Ah Ku, so Qin Fan decided to explain it to Ah Ku later. 3 days later, Ku arrived at the city of 80 kilometers. When Xinhai saw her, he was very respectful. Young hero Qin, did you find the treasure? Ah Ku's eyes were filled with anticipation when she saw Qin Fan. Qin Fan took out the 9 Pulse Godly Sword secret manual and said, Senior Ah Ku is looking for this secret manual, right? Seeing the secret manual floating in the air, Ku was very happy. She grabbed it and put it in her storage ring. When she came back to her senses, she immediately felt a little embarrassed. She looked at Qin Fan and smiled. Thank you for your help this time, young hero Qin. I'm looking for this 9 Pulse Godly Sword secret manual. I'll take it with me, but I can make a copy for you. Qin Fan smiled. To be honest, Senior Ah Ku, I already made a copy. I hope you don't mind. 9 Pulse Godly Sword is a high-grade heaven-rank sword technique. Anyone who sees it would be tempted. I'm already very grateful that you didn't take the secret manual for yourself. It's only right that you make a copy to study it. Aku wasn't angry. Xanhai, who had been standing at the side, suddenly said, Senior Aku, you're already over 1,000 years old, right? Qin Feng was shocked. Aku looked like she was in her early 30s. He didn't expect her actual age to be so terrifying. Young hero Qin, this is. Aku was a little wary of Xanhai. Qin Feng hurriedly introduced, Senior, there's no need to worry. This is Senior Xanhai, the great protector of the 80-mile city. It's all thanks to Senior Xanhai's help that I was able to get the secret manual from the Sword Peak and come back alive. Aku let out a sigh of relief and then answered Xanhai's question, you guessed right. I'm very old. I've even forgotten my exact age. Qin Feng couldn't accept it. He never thought that the beautiful young married woman standing in front of him would be over 1,000 years old. What should he call her by her seniority? However, after a short moment of shock, Qin Feng sank into an even deeper shock. He thought about the treasure that Aku was looking for and the story that God's finger told him. He couldn't help but let his imagination run wild. Senior Aku, you know God's finger? Qin Feng suddenly asked. Aku's body trembled. Her eyes were filled with reminiscence. After a long time, she said, that's right. I know God's finger. He's my husband. Qin Feng and Xanhai were stunned on the spot. Aku continued, thousands of years ago, two sword Dao geniuses appeared in the South Plateau state. The two of them had known each other since they were young and discussed the sword Dao together. They were good friends who talked about everything and created the Finger of God's sect together. The older cultivator's sword Dao was more powerful. His comprehension was also better than the younger cultivator's. His reputation was always higher than the younger cultivator's. Gradually, hatred accumulated in the younger cultivator's heart. He even had the thought of killing the senior brother. Later on, the junior brother met a beautiful woman and fell in love with her. He sent his woman to seduce the senior brother, planning to put on a big show. Later on, the woman successfully won the senior brother's love. On the night of their wedding, the junior brother found the senior brother late at night and told him about his feelings for the woman. The senior brother immediately decided to give up on the woman. He treasured the brotherly bond between him and the junior brother more. The junior brother was very touched. He offered to give up on his own accord and let the senior brother and sister-in-law marry each other. However, he had a condition. He hoped that the senior brother would teach him the super powerful sword skill that he created. He planned to use the sword skill to make a name for himself. Hearing this, Qin Feng and Xanhai understood. The senior brother was Shinju Qin, and the beautiful woman was most likely Aku. Aku continued, the senior brother agreed and gave the super powerful sword skill that he created in his lifetime to the junior brother without reservation. He thought that it would be a happy ending for both parties, but something happened on the night of the wedding. Qin Feng had heard this story from God's finger. He knew what happened next. It was Xanhai's first time hearing it, and he was already attracted by the story. What happened? Aku sighed and said, that night, the senior brother returned to his room after drinking with the guests and found that his partner was missing. He immediately sent people to search for his partner. They searched all over the city, but they couldn't find his partner. Later on, he found out that the junior brother was also missing. The two most important people in his life disappeared at the same time. The senior brother was heartbroken. He stopped cultivating and started to search for the two, rain or shine. What he didn't know was that this marriage was a plot by junior brother from the beginning. That night when junior brother obtained the sword skill, he left with the woman. The woman thought that she would be able to live a happy life with junior brother, but who would have thought that junior brother would despise the woman for having an ambiguous relationship with senior brother? Junior brother had instructed the woman to do all this. After that, the junior brother destroyed the woman's cultivation and left her to fend for herself. The woman woke up from a dream and regretted it for the rest of her life. She started to miss the days with the senior brother, but she was too ashamed to return to the senior brother. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of years passed. The junior brother mastered the sword skill and took the initiative to show up. At that time, the senior brother was so happy that he cried. Unexpectedly, the junior brother challenged him to a battle of life and death. The battle was earth-shattering. The junior brother helplessly realized that even though he had been practicing the sword skill day and night for the past hundreds of years, he was still no match for the senior brother who was wandering around looking for him. At the moment of life and death, the junior brother revealed the secret from hundreds of years ago. The senior brother went berserk and died in the battle in Spirit Fog City. At this point, Ku's face was covered in tears. You should have guessed that the senior brother who was respected was the founder of God's Finger, Shinju-ching. The junior brother was called Shinchi-juan, and the woman was me. Boom! Even though Qin-fen had guessed that this was the relationship between the characters, when he heard it from Ku's own mouth, he felt as if his head was about to explode. If Ku was Shinju-ching's woman, then she had lived for thousands of years. However, this woman's cultivation was destroyed. Qin-fen had no idea how she had survived. As if reading Qin-fen's mind, Ku suddenly said, "Because of hatred. I have lived until now because of hatred. I don't know how many times I have been through life and death, but I have survived in the end. Because I haven't avenged my great hatred, I can't die in peace." You haven't avenged your great hatred? Qin-fen's eyes widened. Senior, you mean Shinchi-juan is not dead? Ku nodded. He is not dead. He is living very well. I must avenge the senior brother. I must make that beast die a horrible death. At the mention of Shinchi-juan, Ku's expression was ferocious. It was as if she had changed into a different person. Qin-fen and Xianhai looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. If Shinchi-juan was still alive, what realm was he at now? By the way, Senior Ku, you said that Senior Shinju-ching died in Spirit Fog City, which is now Spirit City. Qin-fen suddenly thought of another question. That's right. When senior brother died, he sealed his celestial sword in Spirit City. The celestial weapon in Spirit City is real. It is senior brother's celestial sword. So there really is a celestial weapon in the divine continent. Qin-fen exclaimed. Then who sealed the 9-pulse godly sword in the sword peak? Senior brother also sealed that secret scroll. Thousands of years ago, Green Island was senior brother's territory. God's one finger was there. Senior brother created his own sword realm to cultivate and understand the way of the sword. After he died, the sword realm was discovered and became a place to challenge and break through. I was afraid that someone would accidentally find the secret scroll of the 9-pulse godly sword, so I asked young hero Qin to help me retrieve the secret scroll. Everything was clear, but Qin-fen could not calm down. Any cultivator with a conscience would be moved by Shinju-ching's pitiful story. However, according to Ku, Shinchi-juan's strength was unknown. With Qin-fen's current cultivation, he could not help Ku take revenge. Chapter 2013. Senior Ku, I'm afraid Shinchi-juan isn't on the Divine Supreme Continent anymore, right? Xinhai suddenly asked. Qin-fen looked at him in confusion. Where else could he be if not on the Divine Supreme Continent? Was there really a higher realm above the Divine Supreme Continent? No matter where he is, I will find a way to get revenge. Ku's expression was determined. Though her dantian was destroyed and she couldn't even defeat a low-level cultivator who just stepped into immortal qi, the aura that shot out from her bones made even Xinhai, a cauldron-filling state, palpitate. At this moment, Autumn Leaf's voice came. Protector Xinhai, someone is causing trouble at the city gate. Who dares to cause trouble in the city? Xinhai's expression turned cold. The guard said, it's a beast cultivator from Green Island. Qin Fen frowned. He spread out his divine sense and saw a group of beast cultivators gathered outside the city gate. From their clothes, they should be from Nanming Palace. I didn't think Nanming Palace would chase us all the way here. I've caused trouble for you, Senior Xinhai, Qin Fen said. Xinhai patted him on the shoulder. Young hero Qin, there's no need to be so formal. From the moment I brought you back, I already knew that Nanming Palace's forces would come after us. It seems that young hero Qin has completely angered Nanming Palace this time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have stepped into the territory of human cultivators. 80 Mile City was the closest city to Green Island. This area was special. It was human cultivators' territory, but beast cultivators often appeared. However, the demon cultivators who came and went from the 80-kilometer city were very low-key. They would not easily stir up trouble. It was almost impossible for the Nanming Temple to cause trouble with such great fanfare. Not good. White Dragon King is here too. Xinhai's expression suddenly turned serious. Qin Fen was shocked. Nanming Palace's leader, White Dragon King. What realm is he? Rumor has it that he's at disaster transformation state. If he really comes to capture you, even if I mobilize the entire city, I won't be able to protect you, Xinhai said. Qin Fen's heart tensed up. Ever since he gained initial success in the Sword Realm, even if he met a cauldron-filling state primary stage, he could still escape. But against a disaster transformation state, he had no other choice but to hide in the astral world. However, there was no way he could hide in the astral plane. If he did, Li Shanshan, Qi Longxing, and the others would definitely die. Since even the White Wirm King had been mobilized this time, the other party would definitely not rest until one of them was dead. Just as the two were worrying, Kus suddenly said, I still have tens of level 9 Earth Escape Talismans, it won't be a problem to escape disaster transformation state cultivators. Qin Fen and Xinhai stared at Ah Ku in disbelief. As expected of a senior who had lived for thousands of years. Anything she took out was a supreme treasure. The highest grade Qin Feng had ever seen was only a grade 7 Earth Escape Talisman. He never thought that Ah Ku would have grade 9 Earth Escape Talismans, and more than 10 of them. However, Ah Ku continued, over the years, I have relied on these escape talismans to save my life hundreds of times. Now, the remaining escape talismans are almost used up. The two of them rolled their eyes. If that was the case, didn't that mean that Ah Ku had over 100 grade 9 Earth Escape Talismans? That was too sick. Young hero Qin, then hurry up and leave with your family and friends. I will help you buy some time. Xinhai had already flown to the city gate. Qin Fen immediately found Li Shanshan and the others. When Qi Longxing found out that the White Wirm King had brought people to the city to capture Qin Fen, he cursed angrily. In the end, he didn't leave with Qin Fen and the others. Instead, he stayed in the city. Qin Fen didn't stop Qi Longxing. He knew that Qi Longxing was the 8th son of the Black Serpent King. The White Wirm King wouldn't easily make things difficult for him, unless the White Wirm King wanted to start a war with the 3 islands of the north. The effects of the Grade 8 Earth Escape Talisman exceeded Qin Fen's expectations. It looked like a small talisman, but it instantly teleported them hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. Qin Fen didn't travel with Ah Ku. However, he told Ah Ku that if he had time, he planned to go to Spectre City and see if he could take Shinjuqing's immortal sword. However, taking the immortal sword was a matter for later. Now, Qin Fen was being chased by various sects in the South Flat continent. He had also offended the Nanming Palace, so he didn't plan to stay in the South Flat Continent. He wanted to take everyone back to the North Sand Continent to settle down. When Qin Fan activated the Grade 9 Earth Escape Talisman, he specifically chose the teleportation location. At this moment, the four of them landed in a wilderness outside the Sand City. After another half a day's journey, they arrived at the original base of the North Ping faction. However, it had now been transformed into Hero City by Qin Fan. The city was modernized, and it was similar to Hero City in Acropolis City. When Hua Xianyut saw Qin Fan return, she immediately ran out excitedly. "Qin Fan. You're back." Uncle Qin Huang, Grandpa Qin." "Qin Fan, you found Uncle and Grandpa." Hua Xianyut didn't know Li Shanshan, so Qin Fan first introduced her. The two beauties quickly became friends. They held hands and chatted happily as if they had known each other for many years. After chatting for a while, Qin Fan's expression turned serious. "I plan to bring you to the North Sand Continent. My base is there, and there are many of our family and friends there." Qin Huang and the others were completely unfamiliar with the Divine Supreme Continent. They didn't have a sense of belonging there. They didn't care whether they stayed in the South Flat Continent or the North Sand Continent. As long as they could reunite with Qin Fan and the others, it was fine. They packed their luggage and set off. Qin Fan took out the Flying Cloud Awl. This flying artifact was comparable to a high-grade true artifact. It could barely cross the Fallen God Sea. However, it was rumored that the depths of the Fallen God Sea were filled with danger. Even cauldron-filling state experts could die there. Qin Fan was nervous about this trip. However, he knew that if they didn't leave the South Flat Continent as soon as possible, Qin Huang and the others would definitely be in danger. "Feng are we going to use this flying ship to fly to the North Sand Continent?" Qin Huang couldn't help but ask. Even though he didn't know much about the Divine Supreme Continent, he had heard about the four continents. It was rumored that the four continents were separated by the Fallen God Sea. The Fallen God Sea was boundless. Even cauldron-filling state experts couldn't cross it. Among the 5 people in the Flying Cloud Awl, besides Qin Fan who was at Empty God Level 3, the other 4 were at Immortal Qi and Sage King Realm. Crossing the Fallen God Sea with their cultivation, they would probably be laughed at to death. "Don't be afraid. Even though the Fallen God Sea is filled with danger, my Flying Cloud Awl is extremely fast. Even a normal cauldron-filling state expert would have a hard time catching up with it. Also, I plan to strengthen the Flying Cloud Awl during this trip. If I can upgrade the Flying Cloud Awl to a Supreme Grade True Artifact, then crossing the Fallen God Sea wouldn't be a problem." Qin Fan had only seen a Supreme Grade True Artifact flying sword. He had never seen a Supreme Grade flying artifact flying ship. He had exchanged for the feather of a level 8 spiritual bird, the 1000-year bird, at the Pan Shan Market. This was originally a material for forging the immortal artifact, Heaven Rainbow. Qin Fan planned to use it to forge the Flying Cloud Awl and see if he could upgrade the Flying Cloud Awl. Chapter 2014. In Qin Fan's opinion, if he could upgrade the Flying Cloud Augur to a Supreme Grade spiritual weapon, even a true form cultivator would find it hard to catch up. However, he was only a low-grade spiritual weapon Great Master. He was still miles away from becoming a Supreme Grade spiritual weapon Great Master. However, Qin Fan still wanted to give it a try. After he entered the Flying Cloud Augur, he took out 100 spirit crystals and countless high-grade spirit stones and threw them to Hua Xianyu so that she could control the Flying Cloud Augur. When the 100 spirit crystals were taken out, everyone was stunned. This was the first time they had seen spirit crystals. Qin Fan was using spirit crystals as energy for the Flying Cloud Augur. This was such a waste. Qin Fan was definitely not wasting resources. He only had 1,000 spirit crystals left. The reason why he took out 100 spirit crystals for the flying cloud auger was to increase the speed of the flying boat. He knew better than anyone how terrifying the god-perishing sea was. If the powerful demon cultivator caught up with the flying cloud auger, everyone would die. No matter how many resources they had, they wouldn't be able to take them away. Qin Fen had already locked himself in a room. He had set up a level 6 defense array to prevent the huge commotion during the blacksmithing process from scaring everyone. Now, most of the things in his storage ring weren't spirit herbs or materials for setting up arrays, but blacksmithing materials. In the past, Qin Fen rarely did blacksmithing. As a result, the materials in this area were piled up like a mountain. When he was promoted from a beginner to a low-grade spiritual weapon great master, the blacksmithing materials he had used were just the tip of the iceberg. When he saw the mountains of blacksmithing materials, Qin Fen was shocked. He couldn't help but think that he was probably the richest cultivator of the same generation in the North Sand Continent and the South Flat Continent. Even some seniors didn't have as many cultivation resources as he did. With so many blacksmithing materials, Qin Fen could do as he pleased. He immediately took out the weapon cauldron and started to forge low-grade spirit weapons. 5 days later, Qin Fen could only forge low-grade spirit armors at first. Now, he could forge low-grade spirit swords and offensive weapons. Now, he could also forge some middle-grade spirit weapons. His success rate was 50%. 10 days later, Qin Feng had completely stabilized his level as a middle-grade spirit weapon master. He could forge all middle-grade spirit weapons with a success rate of 90%. He could even forge a few high-grade spirit weapons. A month later, Qin Feng was promoted to a high-grade spirit tools grandmaster. His success rate was 60%. During this entire month, he madly forged without rest. Even so, the materials in his storage ring didn't decrease at all. Qin Fen still did not stop because he was still a long way from reaching the top-grade true weapon grandmaster that he wanted. When he continued to forge, Qin Feng realized that the process of increasing the level of forging was extremely slow. He used a month to advance from a low-grade Great Master Spirit Blacksmith to a high-grade Great Master Spirit Blacksmith, but after another 2 months of hard work, he had just stepped into the level of a Great Master Spirit Blacksmith. Although Qin Feng could be considered a top-grade spirit weapon grandmaster, his success rate of forging a top-grade spirit weapon was only 20%. Moreover, even if he did forge a top-grade spirit weapon, the quality and other aspects wouldn't be too good. Qin Feng knew that this was because he had been improving too quickly recently. This caused his forging foundation to be unstable. If he continued to forge like this, he would only get half the result with twice the effort. In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. When Qin Feng walked out of the room, he saw the vast sea outside the soaring cloud all. In these 3 months, the soaring cloud all had been speeding up non-stop. Qin Feng had used 10 of the 100 spirit crystals he left. This showed what kind of speed the soaring cloud all had reached. Qin Feng, you're out. Seeing Qin Feng come out, Hua Xianyu and the others immediately surrounded him happily. They glanced at Qin Feng and realized that he didn't have a breakthrough this time. This made the 4 of them confused. Where are we? Qin Feng looked around at the vast sea and asked. Feng Air, according to the map you gave us, we've flown to the center of the fallen god sea. Qin Feng's expression became serious. The center of the fallen god sea was the most dangerous place. Without an airship, even a cauldron-filling state or disaster transformation state cultivator would die in the center of the sea. However, the sea was peaceful and beautiful. It couldn't be associated with a dangerous place. Qin Feng used his divine sense to scan the bottom of the sea. However, he couldn't scan it at all. Did we encounter any danger along the way? Qin Feng asked. Hua Xianyu answered, when we first entered the Grey Island, a large group of beast cultivators chased after us. However, they were too slow and were shaken off by the soaring cloud all. After entering the fallen god sea, we were chased by some beast cultivators and human cultivators. However, the soaring cloud all flew like a shooting star. No one could catch up to us. Qin Fan immediately guessed that the demon cultivators who were pursuing them were from the Nanming Temple. Furthermore, the White Flood Dragon King was not among the pursuing team. Otherwise, no matter how fast the soaring cloud all was, with its current level, it would not be able to escape the pursuit of a disaster transformation realm cultivator. Qin Feng guessed that the White Dragon King was still in the 80-mile city. He didn't know what happened in the end. Did the White Dragon King make things difficult for Senior Xian Hai? Would he really kill Qi Longxing in a fit of anger? Qin Feng, why do I feel movement on the surface of the sea? Just as Qin Feng was worrying about the situation in the 80-mile city, Hua Xianyu suddenly screamed. Everyone ran to the control room and quickly discovered the changes on the surface of the sea. The originally calm azure sea was now rippling. The amplitude of the ripples was not strong, but they were constantly spreading to the surrounding sea surface. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the ripples seemed to have spread to the center of the fallen god sea. Waves formed and became stronger. It was as if a super sea beast was about to emerge from the bottom of the sea. This spectacular scene reminded Qin Feng of the way the black tortoise appeared. The black tortoise stayed on earth. He didn't know how strong it was now. At this time, a huge whirlpool had formed in the center of the fallen god sea. The sea water was spinning crazily, like a giant top speeding on the surface of the sea. There were waves around it. The waves that rushed out of the sea were hundreds of meters high. They were like water dragons. What is this? A tsunami. This is the first time I've seen such a spectacular tsunami. Feng Air, should we continue to move forward? I feel that the soaring cloud all will be destroyed in the tsunami. Everyone was shocked. They were completely stunned by the turbulent waves and the whirlpool in front of them. Qin Feng was stunned. At this time, the entire sea was spinning violently. The soaring cloud all was suspended in midair. It was like a small flying insect in the vast land. Quick, fly up! Qin Feng exclaimed. Hua Xianyu immediately pressed the button. The soaring cloud all instantly rose. It was like a giant spiritual bird and flew straight into the sky. Not long after the soaring cloud all flew into the sky, the void where it was flying was hit by a wave. There was a violent wind-breaking sound in the air. It was as if the space was torn apart. The people on the ship broke out in a cold sweat. They were terrified. If the soaring cloud all was a few seconds later, they would have died in this terrifying whirlpool. Qin Feng, what should we do now? Hua Xianyu's hand that was controlling the soaring cloud all was trembling. Li Shanshan and the others looked at Qin Feng. Qin Feng was their only hope of survival. Qin Feng's expression was extremely solemn. He had heard that the fallen god sea was full of danger. Not only were there beastly cultivators, but there were also many natural disasters. Now that he had encountered it, he knew how terrifying this place was. The whirlpool didn't show any signs of stopping. The area of the sea surface was getting bigger and bigger. The surging waves became more ferocious. When they hit the void, the impact was comparable to the true energy attack of a cauldron-filling state expert. The soaring cloud all rose again and again. However, it suddenly stopped rising. Qin Feng and the others suddenly felt a huge suction force from the sea under their feet. It was sucking the soaring cloud all into the whirlpool. Not good, Feng Air. We are going to be sucked in. Qin Huang's expression changed. In front of such a powerful natural disaster, their immortal Qi and Saint King realm cultivation were like ants. Qin Feng was even more nervous. He knew that the speed of the soaring cloud all could be said to be the fastest among the high-grade true artifacts. However, it was still being sucked into the whirlpool at the bottom of the sea. He thought that if he wasn't in the soaring cloud all, he would be instantly swallowed by the whirlpool. Facing such a terrifying whirlpool, Qin Feng no longer had the urge to cross the fallen god sea. He knew that if they didn't leave now, only death would be waiting for them. Just as he was controlling the soaring cloud all to return, dozens of flying ships flew over from above the waves. Those flying ships were obviously cultivators who were exploring the nearby sea or crossing the fallen god sea. However, the grade of those flying ships wasn't as high as the soaring cloud all. Several flying ships had already been sucked into the whirlpool and were instantly submerged. What a powerful whirlpool! If we were sucked in, we would be destroyed instantly. Qin Shitian was shocked. Everyone's mood was extremely solemn. Qin Feng didn't care about anything else. He immediately threw 10 spirit crystals into the energy slot of the soaring cloud all. Then, he increased the speed of the soaring cloud all to the maximum. He flew like a meteor in the sea. The flying ships behind him were getting further and further away. Qin Feng saw that when some flying ships were about to fall into the whirlpool, the cultivators inside had no choice but to jump off the ship and escape. However, this action would only make them die faster. When they tried to rush into the sky, they were instantly smashed into pieces by the waves. Among the dozen cultivators that were instantly submerged, Qin Feng even saw an early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivator. This kind of cultivator was rare even in the South Flat continent. However, in this sudden marine natural disaster, they were as vulnerable as ants. Qin Feng didn't dare to imagine what would happen if the soaring cloud all was sucked into the whirlpool. With the cultivation of Hua Xianyu and the others, they would definitely die instantly. Even he wouldn't be able to withstand a few breaths. Fellow cultivator in front, please take the two of us away. I will definitely reward you handsomely. With the help of the spirit crystals, the soaring cloud all speed increased explosively. Just as it was about to leave the huge whirlpool, a cry for help came from the back of the flying ship. When Qin Feng scanned with his divine sense, he frowned slightly. Chapter 2015. Behind him were two cultivators, one old and one young. Judging from the old man's ancient aura, he was at least a senior who had lived for hundreds of years. As for the young cultivator, he was not really young, but much younger than the old man. The reason why Qin Feng suddenly frowned was because he recognized the young cultivator. Feng am I seeing things? Someone is flying in the whirlpool of the waves. Qin Huang was dumbfounded. Li Shanshan and the others were also dumbfounded. The maelstrom was extremely ferocious and possessed an endless suction force. Even a flying ship that was flying at top speed would be sucked in. And yet, these two cultivators were riding flying swords towards the soaring cloud all. The man Qin Feng knew was called Yu Duo. He was one of the 88 human cauldrons auctioned by the dominating heaven cauldron firm at the auction in the 80-mile city. When Qin Feng killed the great elder of the celestial gourd, Mu Feng, and the others, he released the 88 human cauldrons. Yu Duo was very grateful and told Qin Feng that he was from the East Dragon Palace. He even invited Qin Feng to visit the East Dragon Palace when he was free. Qin Feng could not go to the Grey Island now. He was being hunted by the Nanming Temple. Going there would be suicide. However, he was surprised by Yu Duo's cultivation. When he let him go, Yu Duo was still at level 6 of the true spirit realm. After 4 months, Yu Duo had already reached the peak of the true spirit realm and could break through the barrier of the hollow god realm at any time. When he saw the cultivation of the old man next to Yu Duo, Qin Fen was even more shocked. The old man's aura was majestic and turbulent. Qin Fen could not see through it, but he could feel that this person's aura was similar to Senior Xian Hai's. He was at least a cauldron-filling realm expert. Feng let's ignore them. Seeing the soaring cloud all slow down, Qin Huang reminded him. It was not that Qin Huang was ruthless, but that everyone could not protect themselves now. If they went back to save people, they would most likely be killed as well. Qin Huang and the others could see that the old man's cultivation was powerful. If these two people abandoned the bridge after crossing it, it would be big trouble. Don't worry, everyone. Those two are my friends. Qin Fen turned the soaring cloud all around and rushed back. In just a few seconds, he had already rushed to Yuduo's side. When the two of them saw that the spaceship, which was as fast as a meteor, had really returned, they were shocked at first, but then they immediately revealed a look of pleasant surprise. The cabin door opened, and the elder pulled Yuduo into the flying cloud all. Qin Feng didn't have time to greet Yuduo, and immediately turned the nose of the flying cloud all and shot out. The whirlpool of waves behind them roared. The violent explosions and slapping sound seemed to explode right beside their ears. Some of the waves hit the flying cloud all, causing the entire spaceship to shake violently. It felt like it was going to fall into the sea at any time. Don't worry, everyone. There's a defensive array on the spaceship. It'll be fine for a while. Qin Feng comforted her. He realized that only 7 of the 10 crystals he had thrown into the energy slot were left. Even Qin Feng felt his heart ache at this rate of consumption. However, he had no time to think about it. He immediately threw another 5 spirit crystals into the energy slot. The flying cloud all swayed a few times before regaining its stability. Its speed soared all the way. Wherever it went, the air would be pierced. The shrill sound of the wind could be compared to the roar of the turbulent sea waves. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn. The flying cloud all had completely escaped the whirlpool of waves. When they turned around, the sea behind them was covered in rain and fog. It was like the end of the world. Benefactor. It's really you. I didn't expect to see you here. After the crisis, Yuduo gradually calmed down. When he looked at the people in the flying cloud all, his gaze finally fell on Qin Feng. Duo Air, you know them? The cauldron-filling state elder asked. Yuduo immediately introduced, Father, this is Qin Feng's benefactor that I mentioned to you before. 5 months ago, I was captured by that bastard Jest and sold to a human furnace trading company in the 80-mile city. Then, I was bought by an elder of the Celestial Gourd sect. After that, Qin Feng's benefactor killed the people of the Celestial Gourd sect and released all of our human furnaces. After hearing this, the cauldron-filling state elder immediately cupped his fists at Qin Feng. So this is young hero Qin. Thank you for saving Duo Air that day. Also, it's all thanks to young hero Qin this time. Otherwise, Duo Air and I would have died in the sea of death. Back then, Qin Feng didn't understand why Yuduo, a disciple of the East Dragon Palace, would be captured and sold to the dominating human furnace trading company to become a human furnace. Now that he heard Yuduo's story, he understood that Jest was intentionally targeting Yuduo. However, Qin Feng didn't understand. Jest was the #1 Yao cultivator in the Green Island and had already reached the cauldron-filling state. Why would he go against Yuduo, who was only true Spirit Realm 6? However, Qin Fen immediately shook his head and tossed these messy thoughts aside. The conflict between the Yao cultivators had nothing to do with him. Moreover, now that Gerst was dead, Qin Fen could be said to have avenged Yuduo. I saw elder brother Yuduo, so I drove the flying ship back to save you. Elder brother Yuduo and I are fated, so there's no need for senior to be so polite. Qin Feng cupped his fists at Yu Hailong. This was a cauldron-filling state expert, so he had to be polite. The old man looked at Qin Feng meaningfully. He could see that Qin Feng was only at Hollow Spirit Realm level 3, but this young cultivator had a high-grade flying ship. Moreover, he didn't even bat an eyelid when facing a cauldron-filling state expert like him. When he looked at Qin Huang and the others, they broke out in a cold sweat from the pressure of a cauldron-filling state expert. Since young hero Qin has said so, this old man won't be polite anymore. This old man is called Yu Hailong, one of the 4 protectors of the East Dragon Palace. It is my duo heir's good fortune to know a hero like you. Yu Hailong smiled. Qin Feng immediately understood the problem he didn't understand before. So Yu Duo's father was one of the 4 protectors of the East Dragon Palace. It seemed that Jest dealt with Yu Duo to teach the East Dragon Palace a lesson. Jest is dead, so elder brother Yu Duo can let go of his hatred. Qin Feng said. Hearing this news, Yu Duo and Yu Hailong were shocked. Yu Duo yelled, "What? Jest is dead. Who killed him? Someone actually dared to kill him." Seeing the two's reaction, Qin Feng was puzzled. Such a big matter had already spread around the Green Island. Even many of the large sects of the South Flat Continent knew about it. Yet, as a disciple of the East Dragon Palace, Yu Duo didn't know about this. Elder brother Yu Duo, you didn't know about this? Qin Feng asked. Yu Duo understood Qin Feng's thoughts and immediately said, "Young hero Qin, my father and I have been exploring the Fallen God Sea for the past few months. We just arrived at the center of the sea a few days ago. We didn't expect to encounter the Death Sea Whirlpool. If it wasn't for young hero Qin, we would have died in the center of the sea. We wouldn't know about Jest." Qin Feng understood. No wonder Yu Duo and Yu Hailong didn't know about such a big matter. However, Qin Feng didn't say that he killed Jest. If he did, Yu Duo would have many questions. Qin Feng didn't bother to explain. By the way, elder brother Yu Duo, the Death Sea Whirlpool you mentioned is the Whirlpool of Waves. Qin Feng changed the topic. Once the huge waves were mentioned, everyone in the cabin had solemn expressions. Their eyes were filled with lingering fear. Chapter 2016. That's right. The Death Sea Whirlpool is the huge whirlpool of waves that we encountered earlier. It's a place of absolute death in the center of the God-Fall Sea. Even a true form cultivator would find it hard to cross it. The Death Sea Whirlpool has no pattern. It appears suddenly. Because of this, it's impossible to cross the God-Fall Sea, Yu Duo explained. Li Shanshan and the others felt heavy-hearted. They had seen the power of the Death Sea Whirlpool. They felt hopeless about crossing the God-Fall Sea to the North Sand Continent. Qin Fen didn't think so. He knew how ferocious the Death Sea Whirlpool was. However, the suction of the whirlpool was limited. If the Flying Cloud all could be upgraded to a supreme-grade true artifact, they would be able to get rid of the suction and cross the sea. Qin Fen had come to the South Flat Continent using the large flying ship of the Black Glory Merchant Union. He had crossed the God-Fall Sea, but he hadn't encountered the Death Sea Whirlpool. However, Qin Fen believed that even if he had encountered it, the Black Glory Merchant Union's intercontinental flying ship would have been able to cross it. However, the process of building the intercontinental flying ship was very difficult. The various top-notch materials needed were almost extinct. Moreover, the intercontinental flying ship had to be at least a supreme-grade true artifact. Such large airships were generally owned by chambers of commerce and large forces. It was extremely rare for an individual cultivator to get their hands on one. Moreover, most of the intercontinental airships owned by large chambers of commerce were found in ancient ruins or passed down from the time of the founding ancestors of the sects and chambers of commerce. "Oh no, Feng the whirlpool of waves is catching up to us again," Qin Emperor suddenly shouted. Everyone looked behind them and realized that the whirlpool of waves was spreading faster and was catching up to the flying cloud all. Qin Fen was frustrated by the Death Sea whirlpool. He could have driven the flying cloud all back the way he had come and escaped the pursuit of the waves. However, he didn't want to go back to Green Island. He would still encounter trouble there. Qin Fen really wanted to go back to the North Sand Continent to settle Li Shanshan and the others down and then take revenge. "Brother Yu, do we just wait for death every time we encounter the whirlpool of waves?" Qin Fen asked. Yu Duo suddenly came to his senses. "Oh right, young hero Qin, hurry and drive in the direction of the 9 o'clock sea region. There is a place called Deep Sea City. There's a city nearby." Qin Feng was in disbelief. This time, Yu Hailong spoke up. "Duo is right. There is only one city in the heart of the Godfall Sea, Deep Sea City. Every time there is a whirlpool of death, the fleeing cultivators would go to Deep Sea City. It is said that there is a top-grade defensive array around Deep Sea City, capable of resisting the impact of the waves." Qin Feng and the others were shocked. How powerful must the defensive formation be to be able to block the incomparably ferocious whirlpool of waves? Qin Fen immediately changed his direction and flew toward the 9 o'clock region. An hour later, a lone island appeared on the boundless azure sea. From afar, the lone island looked like a small boat in the deep sea. It looked like it was about to collapse. No matter how you looked at it, it didn't look like a place that could withstand the Sea of Death's whirlpool. However, when the soaring cloud all approached the island, Qin Feng immediately felt the intense fluctuations of a formation. Just as Yu Hailong said, the island was surrounded by a powerful defensive formation. The formation's aura was ancient and majestic. Even with Qin Feng's current level of a formation grandmaster, he couldn't see through the defensive formation. The soaring cloud all landed on the shore of the island. Qin Feng led Li Shanshan and the others off the boat. Just as his feet touched the ground, a black figure flew over from afar. It seemed like he was also trying to avoid the Sea of Death's whirlpool. The person was riding on a black flying sword. His speed was extremely fast, leaving a black stream of light in the sky like a meteor. As soon as he landed, he looked like he was in a hurry to enter Deep Sea City. However, he suddenly stopped and his eyes fell on the soaring cloud all. "It's actually a high-grade flying ship. This flying ship is mine." The person was about to take the soaring cloud all away. Qin Feng's face turned cold. True Yuan surged from his body and he shouted. "That's my flying ship. You'd better scram." "Humph. You're just an empty God Realm level 3 human ant. How dare you talk to me like this? You must be tired of living." The other party temporarily stopped putting away the soaring cloud all and flew towards Qin Feng with a palm strike. This old man looked to be in his 50s and was already body condensation state level 6. When his true Yuan surged, there was a beastly aura around him. Clearly, he was a shape-shifted beastly cultivator. With Qin Feng's current strength, it was still a bit difficult for him to deal with a body condensation state middle stage beast cultivator. However, he wouldn't let the old man get on top of him. Just as he was about to use his domain to trap the old man, a giant true Yuan palm fell from the sky and flew towards the old man. Boom! The palm landed on the sea and set off a huge wave. Its aura was almost as powerful as the waves in the Sea of Death. However, this palm didn't hit the old man. Or rather, Yu Hailong didn't plan to fight him at all. However, Yu Hailong had revealed his cauldron-filling state cultivation. The old demon cultivator was shocked. He saw that Qin Fan and the others had low cultivation, so he wanted to steal the soaring cloud all. Now that he saw a cauldron-filling state demon cultivator jump out of the flying ship, he regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. Qin Feng didn't understand why Yu Hailong held back. Was it because the old man was also a beast cultivator so he didn't kill him? He couldn't figure it out, so he put the soaring cloud all away. That high-grade flying ship isn't Qianbei's. The old man was dazed. He thought the flying ship belonged to Yu Hailong. You have no business here, leave quickly. Yu Hailong said coldly. The body condensation state beast cultivator didn't leave. He seemed to have thought of something and his panicked eyes calmed down. Qianbei, we're both beast cultivators, why are you helping a bunch of human ants? If the beast cultivators nearby know about this, even if you're cauldron-filling state, you won't feel good. Yu Hailong said angrily, do I need you to tell me how I do things? Don't think I don't dare to kill you. I'll kill you with one palm and leave immediately. The body condensation state beast cultivator became nervous again. Qin Fan couldn't understand the conversation between him and Yu Hailong. Yu Duo then whispered into Qin Fan's ear, young hero Qin, killing is prohibited in the outer and inner regions of Deep Sea City. Qin Feng understood. No wonder Yu Hailong was just bluffing and didn't want to fight the body condensation state beast cultivator. I, Dragon Ear, will remember today. Don't think you're great just because you're cauldron-filling state. Our Dragon Sea gang has many cauldron-filling state experts. Just wait and see. The body condensation state beast cultivator was clearly scared by Yu Hailong's words. He grumbled angrily and disappeared above the island. Qin Fan immediately discovered that the entrance to Deep Sea City was concealed by a concealment formation. Moreover, the concealment formation was of a very high level. Qin Fan couldn't find the formation eye or the entrance at all. Moreover, Dragon Ear had somehow managed to sneak into Deep Sea City. Just as Qin Feng was thinking, Yu Hailong said, young hero Qin, you need a Deep Sea token to enter Deep Sea City. I only have one, and one Deep Sea token can only let one person in. As for you and Duo Air, you need to buy Deep Sea jelly. Don't worry about the money. The main thing is to verify your identity. There will be powerful cultivators using their divine sense to scan your body. Don't worry. This clearly wasn't the first time Yu Hailong had come to God Fall Ocean and encountered the Death Sea Whirlpool. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a Deep Sea token. But this wasn't what Qin Feng was concerned about. He was worried that when the powerful cultivators scanned, would they detect the existence of the system. Although Qin Fan was a little worried, he had no other choice but to follow Yu Hailong to the island. When they arrived at an empty plaza, there were 2 Yao cultivator guards standing guard at the side of the plaza. We want to get 6 Deep Sea tokens. Yu Hailong said. Qin Feng scanned the 2 guards and was shocked. They were both body condensation state peak stage, but they were guarding the entrance. Each Deep Sea token costs 1 million high-grade spirit stones. Check your body first. If there's no problem, I'll do it for you. One of the guards said. No problem. Here's 6 million spirit stones. Yu Hailong happily paid the processing fee for Qin Feng and the others. Qin Feng wasn't in the mood to thank Yu Hailong. He was worried that something might go wrong with the divine sense check. But after a while, he realized he was thinking too much. Maybe their cultivation levels were too low. The 2 body condensation state beast cultivators were the ones doing the check. After scanning with their divine sense, they didn't find anything strange. One of the guards threw out 6 Deep Sea tokens. You can go in. The 7 of them entered Deep Sea City. They seemed to have passed through a teleportation array, but the distance wasn't very far. When he felt the ground under his feet again, Qin Feng realized the surroundings had changed. This was like a bustling city. If it wasn't for the humid air and the fishy smell of the sea, he wouldn't even think that he was in the center of Godfall Sea. Qin Feng knew that there was a soundproof array set up in Deep Sea City. The sound from the Death Sea spiral outside the city couldn't be heard. The number of people in the city exceeded Qin Feng's expectations. The streets were wide and people came and went. It wasn't any worse than South Flat Continent's #1 public city, Sky Connection City. Qin Feng soon realized that the cultivators who came to Deep Sea City were all of high realms. Along the way, the weakest cultivator he saw was in the True Spirit Realm. Most of the True Spirit Realm cultivators were traveling with one or a few almighties, just like Yu Duo and Yu Hailong. On his side, Li Shanshan and Qin Huang had just stepped into Immortal Qi Realm. Hua Xianyu and Qin Shitian had just reached Sage King. They were like ants in Deep Sea City and attracted many people's attention. Those people aren't afraid of death. There are even 2 Immortal Qi Realm and Sage King Realm cultivators who came to explore the heart of Godfall Sea. There are trillions of cultivators in the Divine Supreme Continent. There are many who aren't afraid of death. If those people are tired of living, let them be. Why bother? Chapter 2017. Some words fell into the ears of Qin Shihuai and the others, making them unhappy. Yu Hailong said, "Don't mind what they say. Anyways, killing is prohibited in Deep Sea City. Let them say what they want. We just need to mind our own business." Qin Feng nodded, "Thank you, Senior Yu, for helping me. Also, I'll transfer the 5 million spirit stones to you now." Yu Hailong immediately waved his hand, "Young hero Qin, if you keep being so polite, I'll be angry. You've saved my duo heir's life twice, and not long ago, you also saved me once. Compared to saving my life, those small matters are not worth mentioning." Qin Feng didn't care about the 5 million spirit stones. He just wanted to see what kind of person Yu Hailong was. So far, he seemed to be a good person. They came to Deep Sea City to seek refuge. According to Yu Hailong, the Death Sea whirlpool would last for a few days before dissipating. During these few days, they could only stay in Deep Sea City. Deep Sea City was huge and had all kinds of shops. They first found a place to stay and then wandered around the city. Feng Air, the weapon shops here even sell high-grade true weapons. I just saw a Heavenly Pole technique manual. It's priced at 1 billion spirit stones and requires a few specific items to buy. There are true spirit and hollow spirit realm cultivators everywhere. Body condensation realm cultivators can be seen everywhere, and a cauldron-filling state cultivator would fly by from time to time. I wonder when we can reach that level. The Qin Emperor and the others were shocked to the core while they were strolling on the street. In fact, Qin Feng was stunned as well. When he participated in the South Flat Continent's Genius Conference in Tiantong City, the elites of all the continents gathered couldn't compare to the experts in Deep Sea City. However, Qin Feng quickly calmed down. He realized that this place wasn't as simple as the South Pingzhou continent. This was the heart of the Divine Fall Sea. Cultivators from all 4 continents of the Divine Supreme Continent were gathered here. Moreover, the cultivators who could appear here must be the top of the 4 continents. Otherwise, ordinary people would not dare to cross the Divine Fall Sea. Why are there so many people locked in cages over there? Hua Xianyu suddenly pointed to a large plaza. The square was filled with over 1,000 iron cages. Inside each cage was a cultivator. Some were human cultivators, some were Yao cultivators, some were demonic cultivators and even ghost cultivators. When they saw this scene, the expressions of Yu Duo and the others immediately turned cold. He, Qin Huang, and Qin Shitian had all been captured and used as cultivation furnaces before, so they knew very well what the people imprisoned in the square were like. Although Li Shanshan wasn't captured to be a cultivation furnace, she was also forcibly captured during the Tsangdao beauty pageant. Therefore, when she saw the people imprisoned in the square who had lost their freedom, her heart was very moved. Qin Fen knew that Yu Duo and the others were thinking about the sad past, so he prepared to take everyone to other places. However, as soon as he turned around, he immediately turned back to look at the plaza. When his divine sense locked onto an iron cage in the center of the plaza, he revealed an expression of disbelief. "Young hero Qin, what's wrong?" Yu Hailong asked. Qin Feng looked at the center of the plaza again. In his line of sight, there was a black-robed man imprisoned in a cage. His hair and face were covered in dirt, and he looked extremely sloppy. The man's eyes were dull and lifeless, and his aura was weak. Someone must have destroyed his dantian. "Is that President He Yao?" Qin Fen mumbled to himself. Qin Huang and the others didn't know who He Yao was, so they didn't understand why Qin Fen looked so shocked. "Young hero Qin, is there a friend of yours in there?" Yu Hailong asked. Qin Fen came back to his senses and asked, "Senior Yu, can the cultivation furnaces here be bought with spirit stones?" Yu Hailong nodded and said, "This is the largest cultivation furnaces trading market in Deep Sea City. As long as you have enough spirit stones, you can buy any kind of cultivation furnaces." Qin Fen immediately rushed to the center of the plaza. As soon as he stood beside He Yao's iron cage, the shop assistant here ran over with a smile, "Hee hee. Young hero, do you need a cultivation furnace? Our Deep Sea Cultivation Furnaces is the largest cultivation furnace trading company in Deep Sea City. We have the approval of the City Lord of Deep Sea City. Our cultivation furnaces are of high quality, of many types, and at a low price. You can definitely buy and use them with peace of mind." Qin Fen couldn't stand it anymore and interrupted him, "How much is that cultivation furnace?" The shop assistant glanced at He Yao's cage and said with a smile, "Oh. Young hero, you have a good eye. This cultivation furnace is still fresh and has only been here for less than a month. He used to be a level 3 empty god human cultivator, but his dantian has been destroyed. However, his empty god clone is still here, so it won't affect young hero's cultivation." Qin Fen felt a chill in his heart. President He Yao, one of the top experts in the North Sand continent, had fallen to such a state. He couldn't help but recall the scene when He Yao sent him to the South Flat continent 3 years ago. At that time, He Yao was afraid that he would die in the South Flat continent. But now, the two of them were in completely different situations. You are Qin Fen." He Yao's unfocused gaze refocused as he looked at Qin Fen in disbelief. Seeing this, the shop assistant rolled his eyes a few times. He obviously realized that Qin Fen and He Yao knew each other, so he planned to raise the price higher. "President He Yao, we'll talk later. I'll buy you first." Qin Fen gave He Yao a reassuring look, then asked the shop assistant, "How much?" "Hee hee. Like I said, this cultivation furnace is fresh and it's at level 3 empty god, so its price will definitely be higher than other cultivation furnaces." Qin Fen interrupted him impatiently, "Just tell me, how much?" 1,000. The shop assistant opened his mouth but immediately changed it. 50 million high-grade spirit stones. Qin Fen knew that the shop assistant wanted to raise the price because he knew that Qin Fen knew He Yao. What? 50 million spirit stones for a level 3 empty god human cultivation furnace. Why don't you just rob someone? Yu Duo had been captured as a cultivation furnace before, so he knew this trade very well. The shop assistant felt that he had shouted too much and was embarrassed. But since he had already said it, he couldn't lower the price. I'm sorry, this cultivation furnace is of high quality. We also have the 10 million cultivation furnace you mentioned. Why don't I bring you guys over to take a look? Yu Duo was furious. What high-quality cultivation furnace? It's all the same. Did you see that young hero Qin knows that cultivation furnace friend, so you purposely raised the price? The shop assistant jumped in fright. Raising the price was strictly forbidden in Deep Sea City. If the city lord or the chief enforcer found out, they would be severely punished. What are you talking about? I don't think you're here to buy cultivation furnaces. Are you trying to cause trouble? The shop assistant immediately retorted. True essence surged from Yu Hailong's body and he said with authority, of course we're here to buy cultivation furnaces, but you're greedy. Even if you want to scam money, you need to see who you're dealing with. You even dare to scam us, are you tired of living? The power of a cauldron-filling state cultivator made the shop assistant shiver in fear. He regretted not seeing who he was dealing with. He really didn't see Yu Hailong at the front. What's going on here? Someone dares to cause trouble at Deep Sea Human Cultivation Furnace Trading Company. A body condensation state middle stage old man walked over. Seeing this person, Yu Hailong's aura surged. It was Dragon Ear who wanted to steal the flying cloud drill at the entrance of Deep Sea City. It's you idiots. Great. I was worried about not being able to find you. Didn't expect you to come to me. Isn't it just a cauldron-filling state cultivator? Do you think the Dragon Sea gang is useless? Dragon Ear had already recognized Qin Feng and the others. This Deep Sea Human Cultivation Furnace Trading Company was the Dragon Sea gang's business. Seeing Dragon Ear, Qin Feng's mood became serious. He wasn't afraid of Dragon Ear. With his initial success and Hollow Spirit State Level 3 cultivation, he could barely deal with a body condensation state middle stage cultivator. Qin Feng was afraid he wouldn't be able to take He Yao away. After all, He Yao had helped him when he was in trouble. How could he not help? Maybe Dragon Ear secretly sent out a flying sword message. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, two black figures flew over from afar, both with powerful auras. Seeing them, Yu Hailong's expression became serious. One of them was a cauldron-filling state level 3 beast cultivator and the other was a cauldron-filling state level 4 like him. As soon as the two landed, they asked about Dragon Ear. Brother Dragon Ear, what's going on? Dragon Ear immediately cupped his fists and said, Brother Long Bin, Brother Long Qing. Someone is causing trouble at our human cultivation furnace trading company. Hearing this, the two were enraged. Their true yuan surged as if there were waves surging behind them. The powerful aura made Qin Emperor and the others breathless. You dare to cause trouble at Deep Sea City. You must be tired of living. The cauldron-filling state level 4 beast cultivator, Long Bin, yelled. Even Qin Fen couldn't withstand his pressure. Yu Hailong immediately propped up a true essence shield, protecting everyone within it. We are here to buy human cultivation furnaces in good faith, but your man raised the price. Now you want to slander us. Then I'll have to ask the chief protector of the city to uphold justice. This wasn't Yu Hailong's first time at Deep Sea City, so he was very calm. Only now did Long Bin realize that Qin Feng had a cauldron-filling state intermediate stage expert. He retracted his aura. Actually, for Deep Sea Human Cultivation Furnace Trading Company, they were only doing business in Deep Sea City. They didn't want to offend the chief protector and the city lord. Humph. You want to find the chief protector for such a trivial matter? Do you think the chief protector has nothing better to do? Long Bin yelled. Yu Hailong wanted to retort, but Qin Feng spoke first. Fine. I'll give you 50 million high-grade spirit stones according to the price just now. Give me that person. Qin Feng didn't want to cause any more trouble. If it got out of hand, he would be the one to suffer. Moreover, as the president of the Black Light Chamber of Commerce, the second largest chamber of commerce in the North Sand region, the thing that Dark Light cared the least about was spirit stones. Now that he was quarreling over 50 million upper-grade spirit stones, it was an insult to him. Brother Qin, thank you. Dark Light understood Qin Feng's thoughts and looked at him gratefully. Chapter 2018. Qin Feng agreed to pay 50 million high-grade spirit stones for Dark Light, but Dragon Ear said something to Long Bin. Long Bin said with a cold face, I'm not selling that furnace. It doesn't matter how many spirit stones you pay. Qin Feng was furious. You said 50 million spirit stones, and now you're going back on your word. If you don't keep your word, who will come here to buy things in the future? Qin Feng purposely raised his voice to attract more cultivators. If Deep Sea Furnace Trading Company's reputation was gone, they wouldn't be able to continue operating in Deep Sea City. Seeing dozens of cultivators fly over, Long Bin and the others' faces darkened. You brat, you'd better not be unreasonable. Our Deep Sea Furnace Trading Company never promised you that we would sell that furnace. It was you who thought too highly of yourself and begged us to buy it. Now you're slandering us and slandering our integrity. I think you're deliberately looking for trouble. If you don't get out of here, I'll call the protectors of the city to deal with you. If it was someone else, Qin Feng might not be bothered, but President Dark Light had sent him to South Flat Continent. That was why he had his current achievements and cultivation. He couldn't just leave Dark Light. Before Qin Feng could say anything, Yu Hailong pulled him back and said telepathically, both parties must agree to a deal in Deep Sea City. If the other party insists on not selling, there's no point in making a fuss. In the end, we'll only be charged with causing trouble and killed by the city protectors. Is there any other way? I have to save that friend. Qin Feng said anxiously. Yu Hailong sighed as if he had made a difficult decision. There's another way. Never mind, young Master Qin saved me in Duo Air. I'll repay your kindness now. Those human cauldrons are originally free. If their friends find them, they can win back their human cauldrons through a challenge. Qin Feng didn't understand what Yu Hailong meant. Who do we challenge? Yu Hailong said, it's not certain who will be challenging. If we send one cultivator, the other party will also send one cultivator. If we win, we can take away the cultivation vessel for free. If we lose, the cultivation vessel will still be theirs. This time, Qin Feng had a general understanding of the situation. He also understood why Yu Hailong's expression was so serious. This cauldron-filling state senior was clearly planning to help him fight. Without waiting for Yu Hailong to step out, Qin Feng jumped out first. That human furnace is my good friend. Right now, I want to issue a challenge to your Deep Sea Human Furnace Trading Company. If I win, I will take that human furnace friend away. This rule was not only limited to Deep Sea City, but also applied to all human furnace firms. It was just that Qin Feng didn't know about this rule when he was in the 80-kilometer city. Otherwise, he would have directly issued a challenge to Kirito and take Qin Huang and Qin Shitian away no matter what. A playful smile appeared on Long Bin's face, as if he was waiting for Qin Feng to issue a challenge. One had to know that killing was strictly prohibited in Deep Sea City. However, cultivators could initiate a life-and-death battle, and if both sides agreed, they could go to the martial arts field to fight. Humph! What a reckless human ant! A mere hollow spirit state level 3 dares to challenge the dignity of the Dragon Sea Gang. Fine, let this old man show you what I'm capable of. Long Bin was just about to fight when he was stopped by Dragon Ear. Senior brother Long Bin, there's no need for you to personally deal with such an ant. Wouldn't that lower your status? It just so happens that I've long disliked that brat. Let me kill him. Longbin thought about it and agreed. The opponent was merely a hollow spirit state level 3 ant. If he really killed Qin Feng, he would be laughed at. Long Air was already at body condensation state middle stage, so he was more than enough to kill Qin Feng. Okay. Then let Martial Brother Long Air fight. Otherwise, people will say that our Dragon Sea gang is bullying people. Long Bin yelled. Letting a body condensation state middle stage cultivator fight a hollow spirit state level 3 was clearly unfair. Long Bin and the others still acted like they were giving way to Qin Feng. This was simply too laughable. Yu Hailong didn't know Qin Feng's true strength at all. Although Yu Duo saw Qin Feng kill Celestial Gourd Sect body condensation state level 2 Grand Elder Mu Feng, now that he was facing body condensation state level 6 Long Air, he also felt that Qin Feng couldn't do it. However, Li Shanshan and the others weren't worried at all. They had heard of Qin Feng's might when he challenged the Sword Realm. Not only did he personally kill 2 body condensation state cultivators, but he also killed a cauldron-filling state genius like Jezite. After that, he even helped Xian Hai and Li Tian kill cauldron-filling realm big shots like Hai Qiji and Yin Fei. This was just a body condensation state middle stage beast cultivator. How could he be Qin Feng's match? If Qin Feng didn't know what they were thinking, he would be depressed to death. The reason why he could easily kill a body condensation stage cultivator in the sword domain, and even kill Jezite, was because of the power of the sword formation in the sword domain. If it was just his domain, he would only be able to trap Jezite, and would not be able to kill him. Young hero Qin, let me fight for you. The strongest person on the other side is only at Cauldron Ekayana stage 4, which is the same realm as me. There's still some suspense in this battle. If you fight, there's no point in fighting, Yu Hailong persuaded Qin Feng. Yu Duo then said, Young Master Qin, my father is one of the 4 protectors of the East Dragon Palace. He is one of the best cultivators of the same level. He often kills enemies above his level. Young Master Qin, please believe my father. Qin Feng appreciated the two's good intentions, but from his perspective, he had the highest chance of winning if he went up. Although Yu Hailong was a top-notch expert in the Blue Island region and could easily kill enemies above his level, the Blue Island was just a sea region in the South Pingzhou region. Even in this deep-sea city, not many people had heard of the Blue Island. On the other hand, Long Bin was a local cultivator of deep-sea city. He was able to step into the cauldron-filling state in the heart of the God-Fall Sea, which was filled with danger, so he must have experienced more hardships than other cultivators of the same level. Yu Hailong was clearly not his match. Senior Yu, I will remember your good intentions. But this time, we are saving my friend, so I will fight personally. No matter if I win or lose, I will feel better. Since Qin Feng said this, Yu Hailong could only sigh and didn't say anything more. Seeing that Qin Feng was determined to fight, Dragon Ear was very excited. Haha! This is the first time I see a cultivator so eager to die. In that case, I will fulfill your wish. As soon as he finished speaking, Dragon Ear stepped on a black flying sword and rushed towards the training field in the distance. Qin Feng immediately followed. Half an hour later, there were hundreds of cultivators surrounding the training field. They all came from Deep Sea Furnace Trading Company to watch the show. Another life and death battle. Isn't that old man Dragon Ear of Deep Sea Furnace Trading Company? He has reached body condensation state middle stage and can be considered a genius beast cultivator. Someone actually dares to challenge Dragon Sea Gang. Doesn't he know that Dragon Sea Gang has more than 10 cauldron-filling state experts and disaster transformation state experts? Damn! Am I seeing things? The person challenging Dragon Ear is a hollow spirit state level 3 human cultivator. More and more cultivators gathered around the training field. A hollow spirit state level 3 human ant challenging a body condensation state middle stage dragon sea gang's little elder. Just this gimmick was enough to make many cultivators curious. Sigh. Young hero Qin is too rash this time. Yu Duo shook his head and sighed. Yu Hailong's expression was solemn. He even started to think of a plan if Qin Feng lost. After thinking for a while, he transmitted his voice to Li Shanshan and the others. You guys go to the exit of Deep Sea City first. When young hero Qin is in danger, I will save him and meet up with you guys. We will escape together. Qin Huang and the others smiled bitterly. They believed that Qin Feng could easily kill Dragon Ear. Plus, if Qin Feng really lost to Dragon Ear, they wouldn't leave alone. They would definitely charge up together to avenge Qin Feng. Even if they died, they would die together. Young hero Qin, why don't you leave? Don't worry about me. President He Yao was also brought over. He was still locked in that narrow cage. He remembered that when he sent Qin Fen to the South Flat Continent 3 years ago, Qin Fen was only at the Buddha Light realm. In just 3 short years, Qin Fen had stepped into the Nihility God realm level 3 and reached the same realm as him. This cultivation speed shocked He Yao. Even though Qin Feng had become a hollow spirit state, He Yao didn't believe that he could defeat Dragon Ear, who was at the middle stage of body condensation state. Now that Qin Feng was willing to risk his life to fight for him, He Yao was already very grateful. And, if you have any last words, you won't have the chance later. Dragon Ear was afraid that Qin Feng would go back on his words, so he interrupted He Yao. Qin Feng naturally wouldn't back down. He stood on the stage and stared at Dragon Ear. I know I can't defeat you, but I'm not afraid of death. Since my friends have been captured by you, I will fight for them. If I really die, then the conflict between us will be over, and the Dragon Sea Gang won't make things difficult for my other friends. Ha! At least you know your place. Don't worry, your 2 wives are beautiful. After I kill you, I will help you take care of them. Dragon Ear laughed wildly. Li Shanshan and Hua Xianyu's expressions were cold. They stared at Dragon Ear in disgust. If Qin Feng really died, they wouldn't let anyone benefit even if they killed themselves. Coldness flashed in Qin Feng's eyes, and he returned to normal. He purposely lowered his stance to make Dragon Ear lower his guard. When he fought with Celestial Gourd Great Elder Mu Feng, although he killed Mu Feng in the end, he had used up all his trump cards. Now that he was facing a hollow spirit state level 6 beast cultivator, Qin Feng didn't have much confidence. He knew that he only had one chance, and he had to kill him in one move. Otherwise, when Dragon Ear came back to his senses, it would be extremely difficult to kill him. Cut the crap, let's begin. Qin Feng's expression was cold. Dragon Ear was beside himself with joy. Haha. Are you in such a hurry to die? Or are you worried that I won't treat your 2 wives well enough? Don't worry, I'll definitely pamper the 2 of them every night. Chapter 2019. Qin Fen was furious, but he forced himself to calm down. With a slight movement of his mind, the magnetic field around him changed dramatically in an instant. A strange energy fluctuation rose in the training field and rushed toward the Dragon Ear at an extremely fast speed. However, Dragon Ear was still laughing at the sky, unaware of the impending death. Anyone who insults my woman must die. Qin Fen roared, and the martial arts field was completely formed. A strange-looking straight stone appeared in his hand, and he swung it down from the sky. The purple light was like the afterglow of the sunset, and it immediately attracted everyone's attention. Be it the true spirit realm cultivators or the body condensation realm cultivators, they were all deeply intoxicated by the light, and their eyes became empty. However, this sword light was not as gentle as it looked. It was filled with killing intent. When the sword light approached Dragoneer's body, he suddenly woke up and immediately took out a defensive artifact to block the sword's power. Dragoneer's expression changed instantly, and he found that his body had been imprisoned. What's going on? You've comprehended the realm. Boom! As soon as Dragoneer's voice fell, the sword light brought with it a fierce true essence explosion, and the two spiritual armors on his body were instantly shattered. His clothes were tattered, and his flesh was covered in cracks and blood. His long hair was disheveled, and he looked extremely miserable. The crowd screamed. What's going on? Was Senior Dragoneer beaten up? I heard Senior Dragoneer say that the kid has comprehended the realm. How is that possible? He just stepped into the empty god realm. Not only did he comprehend the realm, but he was also able to trap Elder Dragoneer. Obviously, he has achieved minor success in the realm. Even Yu Duo and Yu Hailong were shocked. The situation in front of them was completely different from what they had expected. When Yu Hailong used his divine sense to scan the martial arts field, he was so shocked that his eyeballs almost fell to the ground. Others might not be able to see what Qin Fan had displayed, but he could clearly feel that it was minor success in the realm, minor success in the field. Young hero Qin has achieved minor success in the field. How old is he? Not to mention, he is only at the empty god realm level 3, and yet he managed to comprehend it to minor success. I'm afraid there is no one else with this kind of talent and comprehension in the divine supreme continent, Yu Hailong muttered to himself. On the training field, Qin Fan had no time to pay attention to the heated discussions of the cultivators below the stage. His strategy was to end the battle as soon as possible. Otherwise, if Dragoneer reacted, he might be able to use the huge gap between their cultivation levels to forcefully break through the field he had created. As soon as the ruler fell, Qin Feng immediately slashed again. This time, it brought forth an even more dazzling purple saber chi, which once again trapped a group of cultivators with lower cultivation bases. Dragoneer was not in the mood to appreciate the light at all. He had already realized that he was trapped, and Qin Feng was much stronger than he had imagined. That wild blade energy was not the power of a hollow god state cultivator, it was the power of a body condensation state cultivator. You're courting death. I'm going to tear you to pieces. Dragoneer roared as if he had gone mad. His body suddenly ignited with true fire, and as the flames burned, the blood in his body floated out of his skin like steam. As the blood burned, the true essence in his body became more and more intense, as if 1,000 waves were rolling up behind him. Caw! Caw caw! Qin Fan heard a slight crisp sound, which was the crack in his field. What he was worried about had happened. Dragoneer had actually burned his essence blood to break through the field he had created. However, the cracking sound was not loud, and the space where the field had cracked was very small. In fact, the speed of the cracking could not even compare to the speed at which the field repaired itself. Qin Fan did not have time to think and immediately slashed down again. This time, he used the shadowless blade skill through the ruler. The originally traceless blade's shadow now had a purple glow. However, the split glow was very fast, as if thousands of meteors were falling across the sky. The entire training field seemed to be covered by the blade light. The dazzling scene was so dazzling that people completely forgot about the fierce killing intent hidden in the blade light. How dare you! Dragoneer's cultivation level was still able to maintain his calm, and he was not brainwashed by the ruler. But just as he shouted, several purple lights exploded on his body, and a ferocious true essence crazily exploded. His flesh and blood flew everywhere in front of everyone's eyes, and in the end, even his appearance was too horrible to look at. No! If this isn't a realm, what is it? The entire training field was filled with explosions and Dragoneer's screams. Only now did he realize the truth, but he did not dare to believe it. If Qin Fen wasn't using a realm, then what was it? Could it be the field? He was just a hollow spirit state level 3 cultivator. How could he comprehend the existence of a field? Just as Dragon Ear was puzzled, Longbin's angry roar came from outside. No wonder you dared to challenge him, you actually comprehended the existence of a field. I advise you to stop now. If you dare to kill junior brother Dragon Ear, the Dragon Sea Gang will chase you to the ends of the earth and kill you. Field. The crowd was shocked and revealed complicated expressions. Most of the cultivators who were watching thought that Qin Fen was using a realm. Qin Fen's talent and comprehension had already shocked everyone, but now, they heard cauldron-filling state Senior Longbin say that it was a field. This was simply unimaginable. Dragon Ear was dazed on the training field, and he did not even have the thought to resist. His current body condensation state level 6 cultivation was only at the initial success stage. If Qin Fen was really using a field, then even if he fought with his life, he would not be able to escape. Since this is a life and death battle, how can it end without someone dying? If your Sea Dragon Gang wants to take revenge on me, I will accompany you anytime. When Dragon Ear spoke rudely to Li Shanshan and Hua Xianyu, he was already a dead man in Qin Fen's eyes. Now that the time was right, how could Qin Fen be intimidated by Longbin's words? He did not hold back anymore, and the ruler in his hand turned into countless bright purple rays that shot out. Instantly, the entire training field was covered in purple light, like a beautiful scene under the setting sun. Rumble. This beautiful scene hid endless killing intent, and some killing intent spread out from the field, instantly waking up the cultivators around the training field. Such a strong killing intent, how is this a hollow spirit state cultivator? His aura is even fiercer than a body condensation state cultivator. A hollow spirit state level 3 cultivator can comprehend a field. I'm a bit confused. Qin Fen. I really want to know who he is. He is the senior Qin who challenged the sword domain to the 5th level not long ago, and then had the sword domain destroyed. The crowd was in an uproar. This battle was full of ups and downs, and it could be said to be the most exciting battle everyone had ever seen. When the endless purple light covered Dragon Ear's body, he did not even have time to scream before his body exploded. In the end, even his primordial spirit that was fleeing in panic disappeared in the aftermath of the explosion. A body condensation state middle stage cultivator died just like that, in less than 15 minutes. And the person who killed this cultivator was only a hollow spirit state level 3 youth. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, many people found it hard to accept. Chapter 2020. How dare you kill the young elder of the Dragon Sea Gang? You're courting death. Once Dragon Ear died, Longbin's body surged with true yuan. His aura was like a rolling tsunami, intimidating everyone. But before he could attack, Long Qing stepped forward to stop him. Senior brother, calm down. This is Deep Sea City. Longbin suddenly woke up with a start, and a lingering fear rose in his heart. Even though he had already stepped into the 4th level of the cauldron-filling realm, the thought of the few great guardians of Deep Sea City and the mysterious city lord made him break out in cold sweat. Yu Hailong and the rest had already arrived at Qin Feng's side, staring at the Dragon Sea Gang members. Even the immortal Qi realm Qin Huang and the rest did not retreat. This is Deep Sea City. All killing is forbidden here. Dragon Ear and young hero Qin challenged each other willingly. Life and death are up to fate. Yu Hailong said. Now that young hero Qin has won, his good friend belongs to him. Hurry up and let him go. The Dragon Sea Gang members gritted their teeth in anger. Before this, no one had expected Dragon Ear to lose to Qin Feng. The Dragon Sea Gang will remember this. Just you wait and see. Long Bin glared at Qin Feng and Yu Hailong, then left angrily. The rest followed. When they passed Qin Feng, they would glare at him, but Qin Feng ignored them. Young hero Qin, it's all thanks to you. Dark Light knew that he had regained his freedom, and his gratitude was indescribable. Qin Feng immediately opened the restriction on the iron cage and helped him out. This is not the place to talk. Follow me back first. Dark Light nodded, and the group followed Qin Feng back to the inn. On the way back, Qin Feng had too many questions. How did President Dark Light, one of the strongest people in the Northern Sand region, end up in such a state? When they reached the inn, Qin Feng immediately set up a few defensive and soundproof formations, and started asking questions. President Dark Light, why are you here? Dark Light's expression dimmed, and he shook his head and sighed. Sigh. Young hero Qin, in the first year you left the Northern Sand region, those 5-star families started to move. Seeing that you did not appear, they formed an alliance to attack Hero City. Qin Feng became nervous. And then? Are the people in Hero City all right? He Yao nodded and continued, young swordsman Qin, don't be anxious. Listen to me first. The people in Hero City are still alive. At that time, many 5-star sects and some merchant associations gathered in Hero City. However, they discovered that there was a level 6 defense formation set up in the city. This kind of defense formation is rare in the Northern Sand continent. Later on, Dong Xuanzi discovered the secret of the Hero City. The city seemed to have an extremely special energy that could continuously repair the rank 6 defense formation. Later on, Reverend Barefoot brought a few ethereal god realm experts to help the Hero City. Both sides were in a stalemate. One day, half a year ago, the Dragonsaur Merchant Guild joined in the attack on Hero City, and the Dragon's Soul found a powerful body condensation cultivator from somewhere, instantly alerting the entire Northern Sand region. With the help of the powerful body condensation cultivator, the Class 6 defensive formation was finally broken, and a huge battle began. The Northern Sand region suffered heavy casualties. Qin Feng really wanted to ask how Lin Bei Bei and the rest were doing, but he suppressed his urge and continued listening to He Yao. Before the battle ended, there was a huge change in the Northern Sand region. Due to the death of a few immortal venerables, the top cultivation forces in the entire Northern Sand region were reduced by half. However, at this crucial moment, the beast cultivators from the islands near the God Fall Ocean attacked the Northern Sand region, causing an unprecedentedly huge beast horde. The cultivators of the Northern Sand region immediately joined forces to fight against the beast horde, but they were outnumbered. Most of the territory was occupied by the beast cultivators. Hearing this, Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. He had never expected that in less than 3 years since he left the Northern Sands region, so many things had happened there. After Hero City was destroyed, where did the people in the city go? Are my family and friends still alive? Qin Feng asked anxiously. He Yao said with certainty, Hero City wasn't destroyed. Your family and friends should be fine. However, after the attack, the city was locked. Even I couldn't get in, so I don't know the exact situation inside. Qin Feng was confused. President He Yao, didn't you say that Dragon Soul found a body condensation state almighty to break the defense formation of Hero City? They did break the defense formation, but when Dragon Soul and the others charged in, there was no one in the city. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Then, there was a beast tide, and someone realized that the defense formation of Hero City had been restored. The people in the city had returned, Dark Light said. Qin Feng immediately understood. When he left the Northern Sand region, he was afraid that Dong Xuanzi and the others would cause trouble for Hero City, so he set up a level 4 teleportation formation behind Spiritual Immortal Mountain that could teleport people thousands of miles away. Lin Bei Bei and the others must have left through the teleportation formation. Then, when the beast horde occurred, they used the teleportation formation to return to Hero City. There were actually 2 level 6 defense formations in Hero City. One was visible and the other was hidden by Qin Feng. Thinking about what had happened, Qin Feng felt fortunate. Luckily, he was careful, otherwise, Lin Bei Bei and the others would have ended up in a terrible state. Right, Hero Qin, what is your cultivation now? After talking about the Northern Sand region, He Yao asked the question that he had been suppressing for a long time. Hollow God Stage Level 3 that you saw. Qin Feng said honestly. He Yao shook his head. Impossible. Hero Qin killed a body condensation state middle stage beast cultivator not long ago. You are at least body condensation state late stage. This isn't something that can be explained in a few words. I am indeed Hollow God Stage Level 3, but I can kill a body condensation state almighty being. Oh my god. There is such a thing. Northern Sand Region expert He Yao was shocked by Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't want to talk too much about his cultivation. He was more concerned about the situation in the Northern Sand region. Although according to He Yao, Lin Bei Bei and the others were temporarily safe after returning to Hero City, the entire Northern Sand region had a beast horde and half of the land was occupied by beast cultivators. Even if there was a level 6 defense formation in Hero City, it would be breached sooner or later. Only Qin Feng knew why Dong Xiansu and the others couldn't break the defense formation. It was because he had left 2 energy star stones in Hero City before he left. Energy star stones were the best material to store energy in the universe. They were hundreds of times more powerful than the highest grade spirit stones in the Divine Supreme Mainland. It was because of the energy star stones that the defense formation could repair itself so quickly. However, the energy star stones had a limit. Qin Feng was worried that the energy in the 2 stones would be depleted. If that happened, Hero City would be destroyed and Lin Bei Bei and the others wouldn't have a good ending. This isn't right. Why didn't the beast tide come earlier or later? Why did it have to come after the battle between venerables? Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He Yao said with a serious expression, young Hero Qin, you also noticed something fishy. Actually, I suspected that the beast horde was premeditated and purposely waited for the battle to trigger the beast horde attack. If that's the case, then Dragon Soul is the biggest suspect. He found a body condensation state almighty and broke Hero City's level 6 defense formation. It's also because the formation was broken that it triggered the battle between the 2 sides, Qin Feng analyzed. He Yao looked at Qin Feng with admiration and said, young Hero Qin is right. After the beast horde attack, all the sects and forces in the Northern Sand region joined forces to fight against the enemy. Even Dong Xiansu and Barefoot Enlightened being put aside their conflict. However, the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce, the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region, didn't see them in the battle. The 2 continued to analyze and suspected that the beast horde in the Northern Sand region was related to the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. However, it was useless even if they guessed it. The beast horde had already happened and all the cultivators in the Northern Sand region were in deep trouble. They had to think of a way to pass the tribulation. Ha! President He Yao, why aren't you fighting against the beast horde in the Northern Sand region? Why are you at the heart of the fallen god sea? Qin Feng was confused. He Yao shook his head bitterly. Young Hero Qin, you've misunderstood me. As one of the few virtual gods in the Northern Sand region, I naturally have to be the first to fight against the beast horde. However, the beast horde was too ferocious. There were tens of millions of beast cultivators and thousands of virtual gods. The cultivators of the Northern Sand region were no match for them at all. Dong Xiansu and the rest of the immortal lords escaped first. The rest of the cultivators couldn't even withstand a single blow. No one had the heart to fight against the enemy and escaped from the northern sand region. I escaped all the way to the heart of the fallen god CC and planned to seek refuge in the South Flat region. However, I was captured by the Dragon Sea clan and made into a cauldron. Young hero Qin, you know what happened after that. After the conversation, Qin Feng's mood was extremely heavy. He wanted to go back to the northern sand region immediately. According to He Yao, the beast horde had happened half a year ago. It had already been half a year. Could Hero City still hold on? However, no matter how anxious he was, he couldn't leave Deep Sea City now. The Death Sea spiral was still ongoing. It wouldn't subside without 3 to 5 days. Moreover, it took him 3 months to fly from the South Flat region to the heart of the fallen god CC. It would take him at least 3 months to fly back to the northern sand region. Young hero Qin, what do you plan to do next? He Yao's eyes were dim. He didn't have his usual elegance. It was obvious that the beast horde had dealt a huge blow to his confidence. I want to go back to the northern sand region to subside the beast horde and save my friends and family, Qin Feng said without hesitation. He Yao sighed. Sigh. Young hero Qin, I can understand how you feel. You're not the only one who has friends and family in the northern sand region. How can I not have friends and family in the northern sand region? However, with our abilities, we'll just be sending ourselves to our deaths if we go back. You didn't see the beast horde. You won't understand how terrifying it is. Qin Feng said resolutely, even if I die, I want to go back. If my friends and family are gone, what's the point of living? I won't stop you from leaving or staying. However, I have a way to cure your dantian. Chapter 2021. Dark Light thought he had heard wrongly and looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Hero Qin, what did you just say? You can heal my dantian. I can indeed concoct elixirs to heal dantian, but I haven't found the main ingredient yet. If I can find the level 9 caterpillar fungus, I can help you heal your damaged dantian. Qin Feng said. Dark Light was shocked and he suspected that he was dreaming. Ever since his dantian was destroyed, he had been in despair because there were no elixirs to heal dantian in the North Sand Continent. He heard that there were no elixirs in the South Sand Continent either. Dark Light was once the strongest expert in the North Sand Continent, an empty god realm elite. Now that his dantian was destroyed, he became an ordinary person. The huge difference was hard for him to accept. Now, Qin Feng had given him hope and reignited his passion. To be honest, young hero Qin, I was planning to go to the South Flat Continent to look for a miraculous pill that can repair one's dantian. Since young hero Qin can refine such a miraculous pill, I'll follow you back to the North Sand Continent. He Yao made his decision immediately. Qin Feng nodded. He knew that the level 9 caterpillar fungus wasn't easy to find, but he believed that he would find it in the future. Once he concocted the elixir, he would help heal Dark Light's dantian. If he met Senior Aku again, he could help her too. It's useless even if you go to the South Sand Continent. There are no elixirs there. Qin Feng said. Dark Light was glad that he met Qin Feng. Otherwise, even if he could escape the fate of being a human cauldron, he wouldn't be able to recover his cultivation. He definitely didn't doubt Qin Feng's elixir concoction abilities. He was the top pill refiner in the North Sand Continent and he could even concoct the Spirit Charge pill. After knowing about the situation in the North Sand Continent, Qin Feng wasn't in a good mood. He knew that a huge battle was waiting for him. Thinking about the millions of beasts, he felt a headache coming on. Qin Feng had a strong desire to break through. If he was already a cauldron-filling state expert or even a calamity transformation realm expert, then so what if the beast horde was strong? He could easily wipe them out with one palm. And those so-called secluded immortal lords, they were all bullshit. Qin Feng would definitely repay the sins of some people in the past. He used these few days of waiting for the death cyclone to begin his breakthrough. Whether it was the medicinal pills or the spiritual energy resources needed for his breakthrough, he had everything he needed. On the 7th day of his seclusion under the Tree of Life in the astral world, a loud sound came from his body. The extreme pressure was instantly broken and he had successfully stepped into Nihility God stage level 4. The lightning calamity fell in the astral world, but it didn't hurt Qin Feng at all. After he dodged the lightning calamity, he felt that the Zhen Yuan in his body was several times stronger. This was the huge difference between the early stage and middle stage of the Hollow God realm. At the same time, Qin Feng felt that his pill concoction level had automatically increased from Tier 5 Tier 7 Pill King to Tier 6 Tier 7 Pill King. He knew that this was the effect of the creation of heaven and earth art and the Tree of Life. He didn't need to deliberately improve his alchemy level. His level would automatically improve during the process of alchemy. Qin Feng immediately wanted to forge under the Tree of Life. He believed that his forging efficiency would greatly increase, and his comprehension would also be very easy. However, there was already someone outside the door. It seemed that the death cyclone had disappeared. Qin Feng, are you still in seclusion? Li Shanshan stood at the door and shouted. The door opened. Qin Feng was dressed in a white robe and had an elegant demeanor, giving off the feeling of an ancient hero. Has the Sea of Death spiral disappeared? Qin Feng asked. He couldn't wait to kill his way back to the northern sand continent. It just disappeared this morning. Many people have already set off again. When are we leaving? Li Shanshan asked. Now. The group of people set off again, but Yu Duo and Yu Hailong didn't plan to go to the northern sand continent. Before they left, Yu Hailong reminded Qin Feng many times to be careful of the Dragon Sea Gang's power. Even if Yu Hailong didn't say it, Qin Feng would still be wary of the Dragon Sea Gang, especially the two old monsters, Long Bin and Long Qing, who had stepped into the cauldron-filling stage. Qin Feng was a little worried. He was afraid that with the speed of the flying cloud it would be difficult to escape from the two of them. Or rather, those two old fellows might also have high-grade true artifacts. Qin Feng, where are we going? Everyone knew that danger was lurking, and their gazes all landed on Qin Feng. Qin Feng took out the last level 9 escape talisman that Aku gave him. Although he felt it was a pity, other than using it to escape 10,000 miles away, there was no better way. But before he could use it, He Yao whispered in his ear, Young hero Qin, my intercontinent flying device is in the storage ring. Qin Feng was instantly energized. He had taken the intercontinent flying device to the South Flat Continent, and knew the speed of the extreme grade true equipment. If he had the intercontinent flying device, it would take at most 1.5 months to fly back to the northern sand continent. Okay, once we get out of the city, immediately activate the flying device. I will be responsible for stopping the pursuers. Qin Feng made his decision. The few of them were a little worried. Even though they had seen Qin Feng kill the body condensation state level 6 expert, Long Bin and Long Qing would definitely chase after them. Those two old fellows were both cauldron-filling stage, and Long Bin was cauldron-filling middle stage. Don't worry, just follow my plan. Qin Feng made his decision without waiting for the others to persuade him. The few of them adjusted their mood and stepped through the formation gate, leaving Deep Sea City. Just as they appeared on the coast outside the city, two powerful waves of true qi covered the sky and covered the earth. Not good, the Dragon Sea Gang really caught up. Qin Huang and the others' cultivation was too low, and under the ferocious true qi aura, they immediately panicked. President He Yao, quickly activate the flying device. Everyone go up first, I will cover you. Qin Feng didn't expect the other party to catch up so quickly. It was obvious that they had been following them all this time. Before coming out, Qin Feng didn't feel any signs of being followed. He didn't have time to think, and immediately took out the imprisonment and slashed behind him. A black glow appeared. A large area of space was instantly filled with the black glow, and the field was instantly formed. With the help of the imprisonment, the field became even more powerful. It's really the field, he actually comprehended the field. Longqing suddenly appeared, his body floating in the air, looking like he had seen a ghost. Longbin was slightly better than him, his body was still moving, but his movements were like slow motion in a movie, appearing extremely slow. He had already made a move with his hand, and a ball of true qi hand seal slowly formed and enlarged. Seeing this scene, Qin Feng's back was covered in cold sweat. He knew that if he had formed the field half a second later, he would have become a corpse by now. I don't care how you comprehended it to the minor accomplishment, you will die today. Longbin roared angrily. The aura on his body suddenly skyrocketed. A purple glow appeared around him, but it wasn't a true qi attack, but a chaotic magnetic field. Obviously, it was the field he had formed. Longqing was only at the advanced accomplishment, and hadn't touched the edge of the field yet. He couldn't escape from Qin Feng's field for a while, and he was completely stunned when he heard senior brother Longbin's words. He thought that Qin Feng had only comprehended the field, but he didn't expect him to have already reached the minor accomplishment. Boom! Qin Feng's field suddenly exploded violently, and in the explosion area, another magnetic field was formed. It was precisely because the two magnetic fields had different frequencies that caused the invisible collision to produce violent waves. Qin Feng immediately realized that Longbin had already touched the field. Although he had not yet reached the small success stage, because of the huge gap between their realms, Longbin was able to forcefully break through a part of the world with his powerful true essence, and his field immediately filled that part of the world, wanting to trap Qin Feng. Qin Feng wasn't afraid of Longbin's field. He could engulf his opponent's field with just a thought, but he couldn't ignore the hidden true qi aura in the field. It was the true qi of a cauldron filling Almighty, and if he came into contact with it, he would be half crippled even if he didn't die. Young hero Qin, run! Just when Qin Feng was struggling, Dark Light's shout came from above. He immediately gathered his divine sense and expanded the field by a few thousand meters, then rushed toward the spaceship on his flying sword. Rumble! Loud explosions kept ringing out from behind the intercontinental airship. It was an attack launched by Longqing and Longbin after they had escaped from the restraints of the arena. However, the airship was extremely fast, like a shooting star streaking across the sky. By the time the palm attacks landed, the airship had already flown thousands of meters into the sky. Ah, ants, a bunch of ants. Seeing the spaceship disappear into the distance, Longbin was so angry that he blew his beard and glared. Longqing was still immersed in the shock of Qin Feng's minor accomplishment, and he even muttered to himself, "It's really minor accomplishment. He's only at Nihility God Realm level 3, how did he do it?" Half an hour later. Looking at the blue sky and white clouds behind them, Qin Feng and the rest heaved a sigh of relief. They knew that the Dragon Sea gang hadn't caught up. Senior Dark Light, how long will it take to fly back to the North Sand Continent from here? Qin Feng immediately pulled his thoughts back to the North Sand Continent. We can get there in 1.5 months. All right. President Blacklight will be in charge of piloting the flying ship. The rest of you will cultivate in seclusion for the next 1.5 months. I will distribute the elixirs and cultivation resources to everyone. Before we reach the North Sand region, try to raise your cultivation level. That place is currently being invaded by the beast stampede and is filled with danger. Qin Huang and the rest had only just found out about the beast wave. They had never been to the North Sand continent before, so they couldn't help but worry. Qin Feng had already distributed the resources. He treated everyone according to their situation. After settling everyone down, he immediately entered a room to cultivate in seclusion. Although the cultivation level of the North Sand continent was extremely low, and the Nihility God Realm experts were among the top, Qin Feng still wanted to increase his strength. After all, the Soaring Dragon Merchant Association had found a body condensation stage expert, and he didn't know what was going on with that guy. The pills required for a Nihility God Realm expert to break through were already at the level of a level 7 Elixir King. Luckily, Qin Feng had just broken through to level 7 Elixir King not long ago, so he didn't have to worry about the spiritual herbs needed to refine the pills. During the 2 years in the South Flat Continent, he had collected a large amount of high-grade spiritual herbs. Chapter 2022. The best pill for Hollow Spirit State middle stage cultivators to break through was the True Void pill, a level 6 level 7 King pill. But Qin Feng wasn't an ordinary Hollow Spirit State cultivator. He not only killed people above his level but also ate pills above his level. The True Void pill couldn't satisfy Qin Feng's needs. Now, he had to make Hollow Essence pill for Hollow Spirit State tertiary stage cultivators. However, the True Void pill and Hollow Essence pill were both level 6 level 7 King pills. It wasn't hard for him to concoct pills with his current pill concoction skills. However, the pills for body condensation state cultivators were already at level 7 King pills. Qin Feng found that he had to find some time to improve again. Because the pills for high-level cultivators were extremely hard to concoct, there weren't many body condensation state cultivators in the entire South Flat state. Cauldron-filling state cultivators were even rarer. As for disaster transformation state and truth realization state seniors, they had lived for hundreds or even thousands of years to reach that state. But Qin Feng believed that he wouldn't need that long. His goal was to reach disaster transformation state within 100 years. Qin Feng started the fire and threw in the herbs. Then, he started pill concoction under the Tree of Life in the astral world. The silver light enveloped his body like a beautiful scene under the moonlight. Qin Feng immediately felt refreshed. Under the cover of this light, it was as if everything he did was twice the result with half the effort. Half a day later, a cauldron of Hollow Essence pill was successfully concocted. This time, his pill concoction speed was much slower than before. This was mainly because he had just reached level 6 level 7 pill king and this was his first time concocting Hollow Essence pill. In order to concoct better quality pills, he intentionally slowed down. Although it took some time, he was rather satisfied with the results. This cauldron produced a total of 12 pills. Among them, there were 2 extreme-grade Hollow Essence pills, 8 high-grade and 2 middle-grade pills. Qin Feng swallowed the 2 best-quality Void Essence pills without any hesitation, and stored the rest of the pills in the jade bottle. The fragrance of the pills overflowed, and the rich spirit qi surged in his body like a dragon, filling every inch of his tendons and vessels. The spirit quintessence pond beneath him began to slowly descend at a speed visible to the naked eye. The surging spirit qi quickly condensed into a vortex of spirit clouds within the spirit gathering array. The spirit clouds became thicker and more majestic, finally covering a small portion of the sky of the star boundary. A day later, spirit rain fell from the spirit cloud. The raindrops fell on the green grass, and the psychic grass grew rapidly. Even some of the high-grade spiritual grass in the herb garden grew taller, and some of the fruits had completely ripened. 5 days later, a muffled sound came from Qin Feng's body. He had successfully broken through to Nihility God Realm level 5. 10 days later, the spiritual cloud started to dissipate. The spiritual marrow pond under Qin Feng had dried up. However, he broke through again and officially stepped into the late stage of the empty god realm. When he opened his eyes again, the first thing Qin Fan felt was the Jin Yuan surging ferociously in his body. The boundless and boundless Jin Yuan was 10 times stronger than the middle empty god realm. He couldn't help but think that if he was at his current cultivation level when he fought against Long Air, he would be able to kill his opponent without using the battlefield. However, the joy of breaking through quickly disappeared. Qin Fan realized that he had drained the third spirit marrow pond when he broke through to the late stage of the empty god realm. Of the 4 spirit marrow ponds he took from the Mountain of Life, there was only 1 left. Qin Fan realized something terrifying. Although he could kill people above his level and was almost invincible among those in the same realm, the resources he needed to break through were also invincible among those in the same realm. He had only broken through 2 small realms, but he had drained an entire spirit marrow pond. If it was an ordinary cultivator, 1 spirit marrow pond would be enough for them to step from the early stage of the empty god realm to the body condensation realm. Master, you are cultivating the number 1 cultivation method in the divine continent, the fortune of heaven and earth art. This is not an ordinary cultivation method, so of course you can't compare to ordinary cultivators. Little Pig comforted him. Qin Fan was startled. Ever since he obtained the first 2 chapters of the Fortune of Heaven and Earth art, his cultivation level increased rapidly. He realized that using the Fortune of Heaven and Earth art to cultivate would not cause any cultivation bottlenecks. As long as he had enough cultivation resources, breaking through realms would be like riding a rocket. Qin Fan had also guessed the true meaning of the Fortune of Heaven and Earth art, but he did not dare to think that it was an immortal cultivation method. After all, this cultivation method appeared in the Divine Continent, and it was created by the number 1 expert of the Divine Continent, the Great Tao Ultimate God. How could it be an immortal cultivation method? But now, he was not so stupid to think that the Fortune of Heaven and Earth art was a cultivation method. Ever since his trip to the South Flat Continent, Qin Fan's horizons had been broadened. He even found the Immortal Flower Stone, which was an ordinary stone that existed in the immortal world. It was formed from the stone flowers of immortal flowers and plants. There was also the Tree of Life, which was one of the top 10 immortal herbs in the Divine Continent. It seemed that the Divine Continent did have something from the immortal world. It was very likely that the immortal world's Almighty had been here before. After a long time, Qin Fan's emotions gradually calmed down. He used his divine sense to scan outside and found that Lin Bei and the others were still in closed-door cultivation. President Darklight was piloting the intercontinental aircraft and did not seem to have reached the North Sand continent. Qin Fan took out the weapon cauldron. He planned to forge weapons under the Tree of Life and strive to raise his weapon forging skills to the level of a true weapon master. Qin Fan did not take out the weapon forging materials to forge a low-grade true weapon. Instead, he threw the ruler into the weapon cauldron. After the previous few battles, he realized how mysterious and powerful the ruler was. This weapon made of unknown materials was very powerful. Not only could it split space, it could also kill a body condensation stage Almighty. However, the seal on the ruler was only the tip of the iceberg. Qin Fan could not wait to break all the seals on it. By then, this weapon might be able to split the heavens and earth and kill a cauldron-filling state Almighty with 1 slash. It would be as easy as cutting cabbage. Qin Fan could only fantasize about this. Not to mention how powerful the ruler would be after the seal was broken. With his current weapon forging skills, he would not be able to break all the seals on it. A sunflower-shaped flame was thrown into the cauldron and instantly exploded into countless sunflower petals. Qin Fan started to use weapon techniques, trying to break the seal bit by bit. 5 days later, more than half of the seal on the ruler was removed. The original jet-black surface faded a layer and revealed a dark purple luster. The gentle light was not affected by the spirit sunflower flame at all. It seemed to pierce through everything and shot out from the weapon cauldron. One look and Qin Fen was mesmerized. What a powerful weapon. If I used this in battle, my opponent would be dead while they were still admiring the scenery. Qin Fen sighed. Little Pig suddenly exclaimed, Master, the spirit sunflower fire seed has leveled up. It is now a level 2 heavenly fire. Qin Fen realized that the blue flame in the weapon cauldron had changed from the shape of a 1-petal sunflower to a 2-petal sunflower. Little Pig, how are the levels of heavenly fires divided? Qin Fen asked. As long as it is a heavenly fire, it can be automatically or artificially upgraded. There are 8 levels of earth fire and 9 levels of heavenly fire. Using heavenly fire as an example, the initial heavenly fire has no level and is called the initial heavenly fire. After leveling up once, it is called level 1 heavenly fire. After leveling up twice, it is level 2 heavenly fire, and so on. Qin Fen understood. The purple flame he had now was still the initial earth fire, while the spirit sunflower was a level 2 heavenly fire. Don't underestimate the leveling up of heavenly fires. After leveling up, the intensity of the flame would increase exponentially. Perhaps a low-ranked earth fire, after leveling up several times, could be even stronger than the initial heavenly fire that was ranked high. Qin Fen had collected more than 10,000 fire spirit crystals in the cave in the 1,000 Insect Valley. Now, there were only about 5,000 left. It could be seen that the spirit sunflower's leveling up consumed a lot of resources. The fire spirit crystal was an extremely precious resource, comparable to spirit crystals. Actually, the fire spirit crystal had another use. It could help low-level cultivators break through by force. However, this method of breaking through would leave behind some side effects. However, among the resources that Qin Fen gave Lin Bei and the others were a large number of fire spirit crystals. This was because he could refine pills to remove the side effects of the fire spirit crystals. Young hero Qin, we have reached the islands on the outskirts of the North Sand continent. Dark Light's excited voice came from the cockpit. Qin Fen didn't have time to feel the power of the ruler. He immediately left the astral world and looked out of the flying ship. At this moment, they were still flying above a blue sea. However, he could see some islands under his feet. They were the size of ants. This is the outskirts of the Fallen God Sea. Qin Fen quickly recognized the terrain. Previously, he had followed the soaring dragon merchant guild's flying ship to explore the Fallen God Sea. Young hero Qin, there seems to be people fighting on the island in front. Dark Light's tone suddenly turned serious. Qin Fen immediately used his divine senses to scan the area. Since they had reached the outskirts of the North Sand continent, they should be able to see the beast tide from here. However, when his divine senses locked onto the island, he saw 2 groups of human cultivators fighting. Qin Fen recognized the attire of these 2 groups. One of them was from the Invincible sect, while the other was from the Square Tower. After spending 3 years in the South Flat continent, Qin Fen returned to the North Sand continent. The anger that had been buried in his heart for a long time burned wildly. He still remembered the tragic report of the incomparable battle outside the Purple Cloud City in the North Sand region 3 years ago. City Lord Ouyang Jun fell in battle, died in the hands of the Dragon Soul. Invincible sect leader Wu Fan was killed, died under the spectral sword of the barefoot spiritual master Yun Feng. Broken Flower City Lord Yang Badian died in battle. Yun Feng's daughter Yun Chan sacrificed herself, and Sea Medicine sect leader Huo Fei was killed. Yun Feng and the White Spirit Divine Bird escaped with serious injuries. Li Tao left with the Ling Xian Kingdom disciples after losing half an arm. Dragon Soul, the sect leader of the Soaring Dragon Merchant Guild, was also seriously injured. Witchcraft sect, Invincible sect, Thunderbolt sect, and other sects all suffered casualties. That battle started because of Qin Fen. However, he left midway, causing his friends and family to be in danger. If he could do it all over again, he would not have left first. He swore to fight alongside everyone even if he had to die. President Darklight, drive the flying ship over. Qin Fen's voice was cold. Endless killing intent surged from his body. At this moment, even Darklight felt fear. He realized that in just 3 years, Qin Fen had changed so much. Chapter 2023. The intercontinental airship was extremely fast. It was like a meteor streaking across the sky, and it soon landed on the island. The two parties stopped fighting immediately. The sudden landing of the intercontinent flying ship had clearly shocked them. 2 people came out of the ship. The Square Tower disciples were overjoyed and flew over. President He Yao, it's really you. Senior Dark Glory, the Invincible Sect cultivators are extremely shameless. Now that the North Sand Continent is facing a large-scale beast horde attack, everyone is focused on defending against the beast horde. Yet, they are robbing the North Sand Continent cultivators here. I hope that Senior Dark Glory will act on behalf of the heavens. Seeing the excitement and anticipation in the eyes of the Square Tower disciples, He Yao shook his head and sighed. His elixir field had been destroyed and he had lost all his cultivation. He could not even defeat an immortal Qi realm cultivator, let alone deal with the Invincible Sect cultivators. This young hero looks familiar. I think I've seen him somewhere before, but I can't remember. One of the disciples looked at Qin Fen. Hearing his words, a few disciples felt that Qin Fen looked familiar. Another person suddenly exclaimed, "Oh! It's young hero Qin, it really is young hero Qin." The Square Tower disciples were stunned, their faces filled with shock. The battle back then was so intense that everyone in the Northern Sand Continent knew about it. Yet, they had heard that Qin Fen was nowhere to be seen. 3 years had passed, and they had not heard any news about Qin Fen in the Northern Sand Continent. Just when everyone in the Northern Sand Continent thought that Qin Fen was either dead or had escaped from the Northern Sand Continent, not daring to return, the once #1 genius of the Northern Sand Continent had reappeared, making the disciples of the Four-Way Tower feel as though they were dreaming. Qin Fen, an ant like you dares to return. Ha! The heavens have opened their eyes. Sect leader, senior brother, you can take revenge today. Soon, the Invincible Sect disciples had caught up. A total of 12 people flew over. The leader was an old man at the peak of the true spirit realm. He seemed to be the Grand Elder of the Invincible Sect. There was also an old man at the late stage of the true spirit realm, 2 disciples at the middle stage of the true spirit realm, and the remaining 8 were only at the Buddha Light realm and the Sage King realm. This group of people had beaten the Square Tower disciples so badly. When Qin Fen stepped onto the Northern Sand Continent soil again, he was filled with emotions. The cultivation standards here were much lower than in the South Flat Continent. Humph! Old wretch Wu Hai, now that President Blacklight has returned, you still dare to cause trouble here. I think everyone in the Invincible Sect has gone mad. An old man from the Square Tower glared angrily. Qin Fen knew this old man. Back when he was still in the Northern Sand region, he had seen him a few times in the Square Tower. However, he had forgotten his name. That old man was only at True Spirit Realm 8 and had the highest cultivation in the Square Tower's team. It was no wonder that the Invincible Sect would chase after him and beat him up. However, the old man had yet to realize that Darklight's aura had vanished. He was no longer the guild leader Darklight who had shaken the entire Northern Sand region. However, Boundless had clearly seen through this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have shouted those harsh words. Ha! Su Minheng, don't you see the truth? Darklight's Dantian had already been destroyed and he couldn't even defeat a normal person. How could you expect him to help the Northern Sand region? He can't even protect himself now, ha ha ha. Wu Hai faced the sky and laughed wildly. Su Minhang looked at Dark Light in disbelief. This time, he carefully sensed Dark Light's aura and realized that it was just as Wu Hai had said, shit. Senior Dark Light, please leave with young hero Qin and the rest. We are no match for those bastards from the Invincible sect. The hope that had just risen in Su Minhang's heart was instantly extinguished. Looking at Wu Hai's arrogant look, Dark Light was filled with sorrow. He was once one of the strongest godly venerables in the Northern Sand region. Just his name alone was enough to intimidate everyone. Who would have thought that he would end up in such a state where a peak true spirit trash dared to humiliate him? However, Dark Light did not leave because there was no need for him to. Although he was no longer strong, Qin Fen had risen rapidly. In the entire Northern Sand region, how many people could be a match for Qin Fen? Senior Dark Light, why aren't you leaving? Su Minhang asked anxiously. Wu Hai's smile disappeared and his face was filled with murderous intent. He leaped behind the group with a machete on his shoulder and said coldly, "Humph. Want to leave? With me here, no one can leave alive today. Especially you, Qin Fen. Back then, it was because of you that there was an unprecedented battle. That battle caused the death of the Invincible sect leader Wu Yufan and Great Elder Wu Axin. Since then, the Invincible sect's power has been declining. From the number 1 sect in the Northern Sand region, it has fallen to the current 4-star sect. I will definitely take revenge for this. You don't have to worry about me escaping. Even if you don't take revenge on me, I will kill my way to the Invincible sect and burn your sect into ashes." Qin Fen suddenly said, "Purple Cloud City Lord Ouyang Jun, Broken Flower City Lord Yang Badian, Senior Yunding's daughter Yunchan, Sea Medicine sect leader Hufei. These people were all killed in that battle. On the day I, Qin Fen, left the Northern Sand region, I swore a blood oath to avenge them." Both of their gazes collided in the void, and a loud sound of metal clashing could be heard. Wu Hai could not see through Qin Fen's cultivation level, but he did not take Qin Fen seriously at all. When Qin Fen left the Northern Sand region, he was only at the Buddha Light stage. Even if he broke through rapidly in 3 years, he would at most be at the middle stage of the True Spirit stage. Wu Hai was already at the peak of the True Spirit stage. Why would he be afraid of a junior who had just escaped? You make it sound so nice. Let's see how you're going to avenge those people. Wu Hai was enraged, and he slashed out with his saber. Back when he participated in the Northern Sand region's genius competition, Qin Fen had fought with the genius disciple of the Invincible sect, Wu Jin. He knew that the Invincible sect was famous for their saber skills. It was rumored that they had 3 top saber skills: Saber Chi Fist, Infinite Slash, and Spacetime Slash. Qin Fen had only seen the Saber Chi Fist used by Wu Jin. There was Turbulent Saber Chi hidden in the fist, which was similar to his Thunder Tiger Flying Sword Fist. At this moment, Wu Hai's first move was the Infinite Slash. The Saber Chi instantly enveloped Qin Fen, but the Saber Chi suddenly stopped in the void, forming a Saber Chi vortex that did not dissipate for a long time. The vortex began to close in on Qin Fen, and the ferocious true Chi hidden in it had already exploded. Young hero Qin, run. Qin Fen, be careful. The disciples of the Square Tower and Lin Bei were shocked by this scene. The Saber Chi vortex exploded continuously, and the ferocious true Chi surged in all directions, making it hard for everyone to breathe. However, Qin Fen stood motionless in the midst of such a ferocious Saber Chi, looking like he was waiting for death. Rumble. The explosions became more and more violent, but soon, someone realized something was wrong. Around Qin Fen, there was an air barrier that seemed to be made of light and fog. The Saber Chi that Wu Hai had unleashed could not penetrate the air barrier, not even touching Qin Fen's clothes. What's going on? Why can't I see through young hero Qin's cultivation? What realm is he at now? Su Minheng's eyes widened. Lin Bei and the others heaved a long sigh of relief. In their nervousness, they had forgotten about Qin Fen's current strength. What kind of defensive treasure did you hide on your body? It's so powerful. Wu Hai frowned. He did not understand the situation clearly, and attributed the reason to the defensive treasure. Qin Fen could not be bothered to explain to him. With a cold gaze, he said, "You are already the most powerful Grand Elder of the Invincible Sect, right? Then show me all that you have learned. Let me see what makes the #1 sect in the Northern Sand Continent worthy of being called #1. These words were provocative enough, and Wu Hai was instantly enraged. He immediately slashed with his saber. This time, the saber chi underwent a huge change. Unlike before, it did not form a saber chi vortex. Instead, the moment the saber chi appeared, it immediately exploded in the void. Wu Hai waved his saber wildly, attacking something. The saber chi that he slashed out all exploded, forming a strange magnetic field. This is a realm. Qin Fen muttered to himself. Wu Hai was stunned, but he quickly laughed out loud. Ha! I didn't expect an ant like you to have heard of a realm. Didn't you ask why the Invincible Sect is the #1 sect in the Northern Sand Continent? Let me tell you the answer now. Rumble. Just as Wu Hai roared, he slashed with his saber even more ferociously. This slash caused the area of the explosion to expand, completely enveloping Qin Fen. A realm was formed. Qin Fen realized that this was indeed a realm. Although he had just comprehended the boundary of the realm, he was shocked to see a realm formed by a true spirit cultivator in the Northern Sand Continent. What is that? It looks very powerful. The Square Tower disciples were shocked. Even Su Minheng did not understand the realm, but he could feel that the space around Qin Fen was sealed by a strange and powerful energy. He tried to rush in to save Qin Fen, but he found that he could not do so. Realm, the Invincible Sect really has a way to comprehend the realm. He Yao was shocked. In fact, when Qin Fen saved him, he had even used the battlefield during the battle with Dragon Ear. However, the battlefield was too far away from He Yao, and he had not even touched the boundary of the realm. Therefore, when Wu Hai used the realm, He Yao was even more shocked. He Yao even thought that it was fortunate that he had not fought with the Invincible sect leader, Wu Yufan. Otherwise, it would be hard to say who would be the winner. Then, He Yao realized that the barefoot enlightened man must have also comprehended the realm. Otherwise, he would not have been able to kill Wu Yufan. When Wu Hai's realm was completely stabilized, Qin Fen had no intention of attacking. He was feeling his opponent's realm. This was just a fake realm simulated by Saber Chi, but the creation of the realm opened Qin Fen's mind. He could not help but think of the sword array in the sword domain and realm, and he seemed to have gained some enlightenment. Ha! An ant like you should have died 3 years ago. I let you live for 3 years. Now, you can die in peace. When the realm was completely formed, Wu Hai revealed a crazed expression. In the Northern Sand Continent, he had not seen any almighty use the realm. Even top experts like He Yao and Dragon Soul could not touch the boundary of the realm. Now that the realm was formed, Wu Hai believed that even a hollow god realm expert would be severely injured or even killed, let alone Qin Fen. Chapter 2024. When he understood the true meaning of Wu Hai's realm, Qin Fen opened his eyes, which shone brightly. Wu Hai's crazed face was right in front of him. The machete in his hand slashed down, creating a fierce True Yuan sword chi in the air. The sword chi had already landed on Qin Fen's head, as if it was going to split him in half in the next second. The crowd screamed. Even Lin Bei Bei and the rest were instinctively nervous at this critical moment. But there was no explosion. When Su Minhang looked at the battlefield again, his eyes dropped to the ground. What is going on? Not just Su Minhang, everyone who saw the scene on the battlefield was shocked. Wu Hai's body floated in midair, his face ferocious. He still maintained the slashing motion, but this simple movement that could be completed in an instant seemed to be frozen in the air. The long machete did not fall. Even the saber chi above Qin Fan's head was sealed, forming a cloud-like saber mark. It was unimaginable. I know, young hero Qin has also comprehended realm, and his understanding of realm is even deeper than Wu Hai's, a disciple of Square Tower exclaimed. No one knew if his guess was correct, because there were very few powerful beings in the northern sand continent who could comprehend realm. Even top cultivators like Su Minhang had not heard of realm. But only Lin Bei Bei and the rest knew that Qin Fan was not using realm, but a stage that was one level higher than realm. Back then, Qin Fan had used this stage to kill body condensation stage level 6 powerful being Long Air. Later on, when everyone was being chased by Long Bin and Long Qing, the two cauldron-filling state powerful beings, Qin Fan had also used this stage to temporarily trap them. You've also comprehended realm, how is that possible? Wu Hai suddenly found that he could not move, and even speaking was extremely difficult. In his eyes, Qin Fan was still a Buddha light or early stage true spirit ant. He could not believe that someone with this level of cultivation could comprehend realm. Actually, the northern sand continent was not just lacking in cultivation, the cultivators' understanding of realm and stage was even worse. Even hollow god realm powerful beings like Dark Light and Dragon Soul could not comprehend realm. The reason why Wu Hai was able to touch the realm was because of the Invincible Sect's top-notch martial arts technique, Spacetime Slash. The essence of this martial arts technique manual was to make use of saber chi manifestation. This is not a realm. You won't understand even if I tell you. You should go to hell and ask the king of hell. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he casually slapped the void. Suddenly, a gigantic true energy palm imprint descended. The palm imprint expanded rapidly until it covered all 12 members of the Invincible Sect. Rumble. After a series of explosions, no one else could be seen on the battlefield except for Qin Fan. The disciples of the Four-Square Tower were dumbfounded for a long time. Killing 12 experts with a single palm strike. Why does it feel so unreal? Young hero Qin, are they all dead? Su Mingxing came back to his senses, the shock in his eyes still lingering. They're all dead. Qin Feng changed the topic. What's the situation in the northern sand region? As disciples of the Four-Way Tower, why are you here? How is Hero City? Qin Feng threw out a series of questions, and Su Mingxing immediately replied, Young hero Qin, half a year ago, the northern sand region was attacked by the beast tide. Now, demonic cultivators and beasts are running rampant on the mainland. Many sects and cities have been occupied. Even our Four-Way Tower fell a month ago. Great Elder Su Bai Dan died in the battle, and many other junior elders and disciples died in the hands of the demonic cultivators. Later, the Bright Moon Tower Master and Great Elder Su Xuanfei fought to the death and escaped from the Four-Way Tower with the remaining disciples. But along the way, we were ambushed several times. More than a dozen of us were scattered in the ambush, and finally escaped to the outer islands of the Fallen God Sea. Oh yes, young hero Qin, Hero City has not fallen. It has become the last stop for the northern sand region cultivators to fight against the beast tide. Many seniors of the sects and rogue cultivators have gone to Hero City to support them. They swore to protect this last piece of land even if it costs them their lives. After hearing Su Mingxing's words, Qin Feng's heart sank. He did not expect Su Baidan of the Four-Way Tower to die. There was a period of time when he was in close contact with Su Bai Dan and Su Xuanfei. But soon, Qin Feng woke up from his regret. If even the four-way tower was forced to flee, then the other forces in the northern Sand region would be in a much more difficult situation. I've only been away for half a year, and the northern Sand region has already fallen to such a predicament. He Yao exclaimed. Su Mingxing's heart was initially filled with hope because of He Yao's arrival. He even thought of following He Yao to kill everyone from the Invincible sect and kill their way back to Hero City. But now that he knew that He Yao's elixir field had been destroyed, these thoughts disappeared from Su Mingxing's mind. President He Yao, the northern Sand region is now in deep trouble. I'm afraid that in less than 3 months, the entire continent will be completely occupied by the Beast tribe. Su Mingxing was not exaggerating. In fact, the 3 months he said was a conservative estimate. He felt that it would only be shorter. He Yao's expression was extremely grave. The northern Sand region was his home where he was born and raised. Even when he left for the South Pagoda region, it was to obtain a better opportunity to break through and then kill his way back to save the northern Sand region. But now, even his elixir field had been destroyed. He could only watch as his home was occupied by the Beast tribe. Qin Feng, what should we do now? Lin Bei Bei asked. Qin Huang and the others looked at him. They had been cultivating behind closed doors and only came out when they heard the sounds of fighting outside. Knowing that they had arrived at the outer sea region of the northern Sand region, they became serious. If the disciples of the four-way tower are willing to follow me back to Hero City, then board our flying ship. If you don't want to go back, I won't stop you. Qin Feng came to his senses and made a decision immediately. He boarded the flying ship first. Qin Huang and the others naturally followed him. As for the disciples of the four-way tower, they were stunned at first, but then they were pleasantly surprised. When they saw He Yao, they had been thinking of asking He Yao to lead them back to Hero City. They had neglected the fact that Qin Feng had returned as a true expert. The flying ship took off again and headed toward the northern Sand region at top speed. 3 days later, Qin Feng and the others officially entered the territory of the northern Sand region. As soon as they entered the border, they could see many beasts coming and going on the land. Looks like the beast tide is more ferocious than I had imagined, Qin Feng mumbled to himself as he looked at the scenery outside the flying ship. A ferocious aura surged up from Su Minheng's body. He said to Qin Feng, "Young swordsman Qin, let's go down and start a massacre." Qin Huang and the others were ready for battle. They knew that the reason Qin Feng returned to the northern Sand region was to quell the beast tide. The entire northern Sand region has been occupied by the Beast tribe. It won't be easy to kill these tens of millions of beasts. We have to go to Hero City first and fight the first battle there, forcing the Beast tribe to retreat, Qin Feng told them his plan. The disciples of the four-way tower looked troubled. They had escaped from the northern Sand region and had personally experienced the ferocity of the Beast tide. Even the reclusive immortal Lord Barefoot and the master of the Bright Moon Tower couldn't do anything to the Beast tide, to force the Beast tribe to retreat. It was like a fantasy story. Qin Feng wasn't joking, but he didn't explain further. The speed of the interstate flying ship was extremely fast, like a shooting star streaking across the sky. In half a day, they had passed by hundreds of cities and markets. Almost every city and market had been invaded by the Beast tide. In some places, the cultivators were still fighting against the Beast tribe, but more places had been completely occupied. The human cultivators were either killed or captured as captives. Qin Feng had the impulse to kill a few times, but he calmed himself down in the end. If he killed every place he passed by, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to reach Hero City even after a few months. Besides, this kind of scattered killing would be useless. It would only cause the situation in other areas to worsen. Young swordsman Qin, we have arrived at Hero City. After a few days, Dark Light spoke in a serious tone. Everyone was on high alert and went to check on the situation in Hero City. The city was surrounded by countless beast tribe members. The cities and markets they had passed by along the way paled in comparison to the forces of the beast tribe outside Hero City. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. How were they going to fight against so many beast tribe members? They were afraid that they would be torn apart the moment they got off the ship. Just when they were at a loss and wanted to look at Qin Feng, they realized that he was no longer in the cabin. Su Minhang suddenly screamed, "Oh no! Young swordsman Qin has joined the battle. Let's go and help him. Let's try to rush into Hero City in one go." As soon as he finished speaking, no one in the cabin moved. Even Su Minhang himself was stunned at the cabin entrance. A blue light appeared in the sky outside. The light was different from the original blue sky. The blue light covered the sky as if it was covering the entire sky of Hero City. When the blue light fell, everyone could finally see what it was. It turned out to be a sea of flames. It was as if a rain of fire had fallen from the sky. The flames were in the shape of two petals of a sunflower. The temperature was so high that even the air was burned into a state of nothingness. Standing in the cabin, everyone felt like they were standing in a desert under the scorching sun. Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower. That's the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower ranked 20th on the Divine Continent. A disciple of the Square Tower exclaimed. The Northern Sand Continent has long heard that young swordsman Qin obtained the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower. I didn't expect to see its power with my own eyes. It is indeed one of the heavenly fire. Just looking at its flame gives me a palpitating feeling. Using heavenly fire to fight against the beast tide. This is a good idea. However, there are too many beast tribe members this time. Even if we burn them for 3 months, we won't be able to burn them all. Qin Feng stood on his flying sword and hovered above Hero City. He quickly slapped with both hands. Instantly, a rain of fire fell over Hero City. The Spirit Sunflower Fire Seed had been upgraded to a rank 2 Heavenly Fire not long ago. The intensity of the fire was fierce. The sky was dark blue, and there were a few vacuum zones in the air. Roar! There's a human cultivator in the sky. Quick, capture him. Humph! The ignorant humans in Hero City are just putting up a last-ditch struggle. You think you can scare us off with just some fire? What a joke. There's another ship in the sky. Quick, destroy it and blow up the human ants inside. Chapter 2025. Now that the Northern Sand Continent was in danger of the beast horde, the beast race was so arrogant that they would kill any humans they saw. Therefore, when they saw a huge spaceship in the sky, hundreds of beasts flew out from the ground and charged towards it. However, before they could get close to the edge of the spaceship, several blue flames engulfed them. The beasts did not even have the time to scream before they disappeared into the sea of flames. Roar, roar! Damned human ant, destroy him for me. On the ground, a humanoid demonic beast roared into the sky. Under his command, wave after wave of beasts charged into the sky, attempting to tear Qin Feng apart. A rain of fire fell from the sky. When it landed on the bodies of the beasts, they didn't care. However, the flames instantly increased, and the scorching heat burned the beasts into ashes. Lord Leda, that human cultivator seems very powerful. Help! This is not a normal human true fire, it is a heavenly fire. This is the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower, and it has been upgraded twice. The beasts were in an uproar. They were not afraid of fire, but they did not expect the heavenly fire to be so powerful. They were melted the moment they came into contact with it. When the first wave of heavenly fire spirit sunflower landed, a large number of beasts were burned to death. Thousands of fire pits appeared on the ground, and the air was filled with the stench of blood. The number of beasts gathered below Hero City was halved. Such powerful flames. Even the heavenly fire spirit sunflower does not have such power. Everyone on the spaceship was stunned. Su Minhang said, "It is not just the power of the heavenly fire, young hero Qin's cultivation level is also very useful. I cannot even see through his cultivation level. Has he reached Nihility God?" His words shocked the four-way tower disciples. Qin Fen was once the #1 genius of the northern sand continent. Many people knew that he was in the Buddha light realm when he left the northern sand continent. How could he have reached Nihility God in less than 3 years? "Elder Min, did you see wrongly?" a disciple asked. Su Minhang said seriously, "I think I'm right. If young Master Qin is below the hollow God realm, I can see through him. Since I can't, he must be above the hollow God realm." Halfway through, Su Minhang suddenly looked at Dark Light. "Senior, you should be able to tell young Master Qin's level, right?" He Yao forced a smile and said, "Master Qin has indeed entered the virtual God stage. In fact, he's in the advanced stage." His words stunned everyone. In just 3 short years, he had advanced from the Buddha light realm to the late empty God realm. Even if he ate pills every day, he wouldn't be able to do it. However, He Yao continued, "Although young Master Qin is only at Void God later stage, I saw him kill a body condensation late stage beast cultivator with my own eyes." The crowd from the 4-square tower was rendered speechless. In the sky above Hero City, the rain of fire never stopped, and the attacks were becoming fiercer. Under the scorching heat of the level 2 heavenly flame, those beasts were as tiny as ants as they disappeared from the ground one by one. Such a huge commotion attracted the attention of Hero City. More than 100 people gathered in a rather modern meeting room. A guard just reported that the beasts are attacking again. This time, it's a rain of fire attack. "What do you guys think we should do?" Lu Jia anxiously reported the situation outside. Li Tao slammed the stone table and was the first to stand up to express his stance. "What else can we do? We have to kill our way out and fight them. Anyway, when young swordsman Qin leaves, leave Hero City in good condition to everyone. We have to protect Hero City until young swordsman Qin returns." Yunzhe, Long Hair, and the others from China all stood up. They had been through countless life and death situations with Qin Fen, so they weren't afraid this time. "Young masters, please wait." Before everyone left, Square Tower's leader Su Minghua said, "With our current forces, we can't win this beast horde. Hero City is probably the only place in the North Sand continent that hasn't been conquered by the beasts. We can't act recklessly." Barefoot Spiritual Master Yun Feng nodded and agreed with Su Minghua. "Brother Minghua is right. If we rush out, we'll die. If we stay in Hero City, we can hold on for a few more days. This city has a special energy supply. Those beasts can't break through the level 6 defense formation. I've already used my flying sword to ask for help from a few friends in the South Flat continent. If they come, they might be able to solve this beast horde crisis." Senior Yun Feng, everyone can see the current situation. I hope you don't hide anything. You sent out your flying sword a month ago, but there's been no reply. Do you think those friends will really come to the North Sand continent to help? Said Chow Yunfei, the leader of the Hall of Famous Generals branch. When the North Sand continent was attacked by the beast horde, he led the Hall of Famous Generals' independent cultivators to fight back. In the end, his force was scattered, so he came to protect Hero City. Everyone looked at Yun Feng. Now, all their hopes were on his friends from the South Flat continent. But a month had passed, and there was still no news from them. Everyone was in despair. Sigh. I can't say for sure. After all, the South Flat Continent and the North Sand Continent are separated by the Fallen God Sea. Maybe my friends can't come over even if they want to. Yun Feng did not have much hope for his friends. Perhaps by the time his friends reached the North Sand Continent, it would already be completely occupied by the beasts. Since this beast horde is unavoidable, I suggest everyone leave the North Sand Continent with me now. We can go to the South Flat Continent to cultivate. When we're strong enough, we can come back to take revenge, said Chow Yunfei. A few seniors from other clans immediately expressed their agreement. It was not that they wanted to escape, but that there was no hope in front of them. If they continued to stay, they would only be waiting for death. Even Yun Gao nodded in agreement with Chow Yunfei. He sighed and said, "The cottage leader is right. I suggest that everyone follow the cottage leader and the Bright Moon Tower leader and leave the North Sand State. I will continue to guard Hero City. I can help you buy some time." "Senior Yun Feng, you don't have to say any more." "I won't leave," said Li Tao firmly. Lu Jia and the others also chose to stay. They had transmigrated to the Divine Continent from Earth. Now that they had finally built a new home in this foreign land, how could they watch their home be destroyed? Just when the two sides could not come to an agreement, a guard rushed in anxiously. "Reporting to Guardian Lu, hurry up." Lu Jia said anxiously. "Guardian Lu, the information we received was wrong. Hero City was covered in a rain of fire. However, the attack was not caused by the beasts." Lu Jia was shocked. "Not caused by the beasts? Then who else could it be? Could it be that another senior has come to Hero City to help?" Previously, seniors had come to Hero City almost every day to help. However, the North Sand Continent had already fallen. Almost all the powerful experts had come. Who would dare to attack Hero City at this time? "Who is it?" Li Tao asked. The guard's voice trembled. "Guardian Li, it seems, it's the city lord." The meeting room suddenly became quiet and fell into a strange atmosphere. When the guard suddenly mentioned the city lord, everyone did not even have time to react. Ever since Qin Fen built Hero City, he had barely stayed in the city. His identity as the city lord was gradually forgotten. As such, most of the cultivators in the North Sand region called him Young Hero Qin or Senior Qin. Very few people called him City Lord. "Are you talking about Young Master Qin? He's back." Lu Jia was so excited that the fat on his face was shaking. The expressions of the beauties in the room changed drastically. They looked at the guard anxiously and expectantly. The guard could feel hundreds of pairs of eyes on him. Most of them were true spirit or virtual god experts. He felt pressured. I'm not sure. Right now, the sky above Hero City is completely covered by blue flames. I can't see anything at all. I only heard that person's voice, and it sounded like the city lord, so I came to report the situation. Whoosh! A strong wind blew in the room. More than 10 figures rushed out of the room. When the others regained their senses, they immediately followed. No one expected Qin Fen to come back at such a critical moment. Everyone was shocked and they arrived at the city gate. The city gate was filled with cultivators. Almost all the forces in Hero City had gathered. Everyone looked up at the sky. The sky was lit up by blue fire. It was a majestic sight. The blue fire rain kept falling. It was as if it had eyes. It only fell near Hero City. Not a single flame landed in Hero City. The fire was extremely fierce. Everywhere it went, the air was melted. When it landed on the bodies of the beasts, they were instantly burned to ashes. Many beasts were destroyed in the blink of an eye. There was not even a trace of blood or corpse left. This scene made people feel as if groups of beasts were teleported away and suddenly disappeared. What a powerful flame! Who is this divine being? Yunzhe was shocked. He mumbled to himself. With his cultivation, he could not see Qin Fan through the blue fire. This is the heavenly fire spirit grass. This is the fire that boss used. Boss is really back. Lu Jia shouted excitedly. Yun Feng and Su Mingyue both reached Empty God Realm. They released their divine senses and were instantly shocked by the figure behind the blue fire. They were sure that the young hero standing on the sword was Qin Fan. After 3 years, other than his aura becoming stronger, there was no other change. Qin Fan's aura shocked the two of them. They knew what cultivation Qin Fan was at 3 years ago. In less than 3 years, he had reached Empty God Realm level 6. How is this possible? Su Mingyue could not help but shout. Yun Feng smiled bitterly at him. Looks like the Bright Moon Tower leader also saw Qin Fan's realm. His breakthrough speed is unbelievable. Senior Yun Feng, you said that you saw young hero Qin. Is he really back? Chao Yunfei asked. That's right. That blue fire was young hero Qin's attack. He is on that fire. Yunfeng's tone was very sure. The crowd was in an uproar. Although some people had guessed that Qin Fan had really returned, they did not expect him to return in such a powerful manner. 3 years ago, Qin Feng was chased by many sects and families in the Northern Sand region. Left with no choice, he escaped from the Northern Sand region and disappeared. Now that he had returned to the Northern Sand land and was facing the threat of the Beast Tide, which was a headache for all the Northern Sand continent revered martial artists. Yet, he had single-handedly slaughtered his way through. With a wave of his hand, fire rained down from the sky, and when his hand landed, there were many casualties. 673A, 4EOB, 8F7D, AP 77OB, 4E66, 7, AP 6216, 76F4, 63A5, 8BBF, 95E, 7F51, 7AD9. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 2026. Qin Fan was back. The news spread throughout Hero City in no time. Lin Bei and the other women stood on the stone pillar at the city gate and tried their best to look at the figure behind the blue fire in the sky. The light emitted from that person was too dazzling and hard to see clearly. But the women knew that it was Qin Fan. It was an indescribable intuition. Rumble. The sky was filled with fire rain that seemed endless. In just an hour, more than half of the beasts outside Hero City were dead or injured. Some beasts had already fled. Lord Reed, that human cultivator's sky fire is too fierce. In just an hour, he has burned thousands of beasts to death. If we don't retreat, everyone will be burned to death. Why don't Lord Reed take action personally and rush into the sky to kill that human ant? Lord Reed, I have already sent a reinforcement signal to Black Pupil King according to your instructions. At the same time, I have also sent a signal to the beasts. I believe that the beasts near Hero City will rush over to support once they see the signal flare. Many beasts gathered around a man in his 50s. That man was also a beast, but he had completely transformed into a human. Reed looked at the sky full of fire rain and his beasts that could be burned to ashes at any time. He was furious. Ever since the beast horde attack, he had led many beasts to seize countless territories. But this hero city in front of him was the only one that he could not break through. Previously, a large number of human experts had rushed over to support Hero City. Recently, this situation had finally calmed down. But who would have thought that an even more powerful being would suddenly appear? Now that Reed had stepped into the peak of True Spirit level 9, he would not be afraid even if he encountered Dark Light or Su Mingyue, the strongest experts in the North Sand continent. But now, he looked at the impenetrable blue sea of fire and felt an indescribable fear. In the end, he did not dare to rush into the sky to fight Qin Fun. The power of the sky fire was too strong. If he was careless and touched a spark, he would be instantly engulfed. Reed even felt that he would die in the sea of fire before he could see his opponent. Don't retreat first. Wait for reinforcements, then send an emergency SOS to Black Pupil King and wait for him to kill the enemy. Reed made his decision. The dozen beasts around him had solemn expressions. They obviously did not want to stay and wait for death. But since Reed had spoken, they could only obey. Another large group of beasts attempted to break through the blue rain of fire in order to kill the human cultivators behind it. It was just that their cultivations were too low. They didn't even get close to the fiery rain layer before they were burned into nothingness by the heavenly fire. This scene was like a moth flying into a flame, stunning the crowd. Qin Fan's cold voice rang out from the sky. The Northern Sands region is a place where human cultivators live and cultivate. You beasts should hurry up and leave, or else you'll die. When Qin Fan's voice rang in the sky above Hero City, everyone became even more certain that he had returned. The beasts let out wild roars. There were sounds of panic, and there were also howls of pain as their bodies were burned by the heavenly flames. Rand looked up at the sea of fire and roared, "Who do you think you are? You want to stop this beast tide? You're overestimating yourself." As his voice fell, the rain of fire that filled the sky became even more intense. The beasts were stunned. After such a long rain of fire, they thought that the other party's true essence was about to run out, but they didn't expect that this was just the beginning. Because of Qin Fan's appearance, it was like a butterfly effect, causing the situation in many regions of the Northern Sand region to change. Why is the beast tide retreating? The beast tide hasn't retreated. Those beasts have all rushed to Hero City. I reckon that they want to take down Hero City in one fell swoop. What do we do now? Should we rush to Hero City to help? I think everyone should take the chance to escape. This beast tide is too ferocious. It's obvious that the beasts have been planning this for a long time. Even if we rush to Hero City, the result will be the same. The Northern Sand region won't be able to hold on. Countless beasts suddenly rushed towards Hero City. The area below Hero City was already filled with beasts. The queue stretched for more than 10 kilometers, all the way to the bases of the nearby sections. Many black figures flashed in the sky. They were all human cultivators who had rushed over from all over as reinforcements. However, there were also many cultivators who took the chance to escape. To them, the Northern Sand region was completely hopeless. Senior Su Xuanfei, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on. I was fighting with the beasts dozens of kilometers away, so I couldn't rush to Hero City. Unexpectedly, the beasts suddenly retreated and rushed to Hero City. Su Xuanfei immediately explained the situation. Thunder Cult Zhong Qiansui also rushed over. The situation on my side is the same as Su Xuanfei's. The beasts seem to be attacking Hero City. Why are they so stubborn about Hero City? What can they do even if they break through the city? Someone was confused. No one could answer this question. A few screams came from the crowd. Ah! Look at the sky above Hero City. What's that? It's the heavenly fire rain. It's the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, ranked 20th on the divine continent. Heavenly fire spirit sunflower. I remember that Qin Fan also obtained this kind of fire. Could it be that Qin Fan has returned? When they discovered the situation in Hero City, everyone was shocked. They were sure that Qin Fen had returned. Apart from Qin Fen, no one else in the northern sand continent had a spirit sunflower kindling. At this moment, the sky above Hero City was covered by a sky full of blue flames. Even from afar, one could feel the scorching temperature of the flames. Moreover, there were waves of heart-wrenching screams coming from the city. Just listening to them was enough to make one's hair stand on end. Is that Qin Fen? When did he become so powerful? Oh my God! How can a person create such a powerful fire attack? That group of beasts were like ants in his hands, wiped out in an instant. Humph. This has nothing to do with Qin Fen's cultivation. It can only be said that he is extremely lucky. He actually managed to raise the spirit sunflower kindling to rank 2. Under this kind of fire, even a hollow god stage powerhouse can be burned, let alone those low-level beasts. Zhong Chensue's eyes were filled with killing intent when he mentioned Qin Fen. He still remembered the incomparable battle 3 years ago. Many of the Thunder Cult's great elders and young elders had died. The fire was fierce, but it could not burn the beasts that were surging over. When the heavenly fire fell to the ground and burned the beasts, new beasts immediately rushed over, filling up the empty space under Hero City. With such a high consumption of true essence, even Qin Fen could not bear it. He knew that with the current fire, he would not be able to burn all the beasts even after half a year. I'll warn you again. The northern sand continent is a place where human cultivators live and cultivate. The beasts can enter, but they cannot invade our territory. Otherwise, they will die. Qin Fen's dignified voice resounded through the sky. The expressions of the cultivators who had rushed over changed. They were now 100% sure that the Almighty hidden in the sky full of blue flames was indeed Qin Fen. Chapter 2027. Where did this human ant come from? How dare he be so arrogant? Who said that the North Sand region is the territory of human cultivators? The divine continent respects the strong. Whoever's fist is harder will have the final say here. Why are you wasting your breath on him? I can crush him by myself. Suddenly, several angry roars came from the distant sky, and dozens of black shadows appeared. They were extremely fast, like flying arrows piercing through the clouds. This group of people were all from the Beast clan, and most of them were Yao cultivators who had already taken human form. Their bodies were swirling with violent true essence, and as soon as they appeared, they stunned everyone present. There are actually tens of Nihility god-level Yao cultivators. It seems like the northern sand region is really going to be conquered. I heard that the beast stampede was started by a leader of the beast cultivators called the Black Eye King. That beast cultivator has already reached the pinnacle of the empty god realm and his cultivation level has already dominated the entire North Sand region. Haha. Qin Feng, Qin Feng, although it's a pity that I can't kill you with my own hands, seeing you die with my own eyes is also a delightful thing. The human cultivators who rushed over revealed serious expressions. They were worried for Qin Fen. However, there were also cultivators who held grudges against Qin Fen who were filled with anticipation. The dozens of Nihility God Beast cultivators that suddenly flew over were already close. After a few breaths, they passed through the blue flames that filled the sky and charged towards Qin Fen. The spirit sunflower flames suddenly disappeared. Everyone's vision cleared up, and they immediately saw Qin Fen standing on his sword. Lin Bei Bei and the other women were moved to tears. Lu Jia and the others shouted Qin Feng's name, and those who had a grudge against him gnashed their teeth. So, it's a human cultivator in the late Nihility god realm. No wonder he dares to be so arrogant. However, so what if he's in the late Nihility god realm? Since he dares to stop the invasion of the Beast clan, the only outcome for him is death. Everyone attack together and annihilate the enemy in one fell swoop. The demon cultivator who flew over had already seen through Qin Fen's cultivation, and his words completely stunned the group of human cultivators. Qin Feng has reached the late stage of empty god realm. How is this possible? Those Yao cultivators must have seen wrongly. When Qin Fen left the northern sand region 3 years ago, he was only at the Buddha light stage. Even if he encountered a heaven-defying encounter, it would be impossible for him to break through 2 major realms in a short span of 3 years. Humph. No matter what he's become, he's going to die anyway. Because of Qin Fen's sudden appearance, the human cultivators who rushed over were stunned, and even some of his friends who were on good terms with him forgot to step forward to help. In just a few breaths, the dozens of virtual god-beast cultivators had already landed around Qin Feng and formed a huge encirclement around him. Judging from their formation, even a fly would not be able to escape. However, Qin Fen's expression did not change, and the attacks on his hands had already stopped. The spirit sunflower fire rain that filled the sky disappeared, but the surrounding temperature was still high. The few Nihility God Realm beast cultivators with the highest cultivation base were already closing in. They waved their palms and made several ferocious true elemental hand seals in the air. The powerful beast cultivators that came after them did not let their guard down either. All of them launched their attacks, not giving Qin Fen any chance of survival. In an instant, the sky above Hero City was covered by countless true origin hands, and they overlapped with each other like clouds flying past. The cultivators in Hero City revealed looks of panic. None of them believed that Qin Fen could survive the enemy's ferocious attack. Damn it! Young Hero Qin is in trouble. I didn't expect young Hero Qin to step into the late Nihility God realm in just 3 years. Unfortunately, his luck is not good, and he encountered the North Sand region's beast horde. This time, he is most likely doomed. Why aren't the true elemental hand seals moving? Not only did the powerful beast cultivators' attack stop, but they also seemed to be restricted. Someone noticed the abnormality, and the news spread quickly. A few seconds later, the cultivators and beasts that had gathered outside Hero City saw the shocking scene in the sky. The dozens of powerful beast cultivators that had charged towards Qin Fen all froze in the sky. Some of them still had a shocked expression on their faces, and some of them were in a state where they were about to launch their attacks. Even the true elemental hand seals that had been sent out froze. They were like clouds floating in the sky, but they did not move at all. What is going on? Many people could not understand. The few human cultivators who had stepped into the Nihility God realm had a change of expression, and they shouted with trembling voices, "Realm? This is realm." It seems like young Hero Qin has really stepped into the late Nihility God realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to comprehend realm. To be able to restrict dozens of Nihility God beast cultivators at once, it seems like young Hero Qin's realm has reached great success. Even if he hasn't reached great success, he must have reached small success. The cultivation level of the North Sand region was so high that even the disciples and elders of the 5-star sects had never heard of realm, let alone realm. Everyone was at a loss. They could not understand what could cause the few Nihility God experts in the North Sand region to be so shocked. Although they could not understand the existence of realm, they had seen how strong it was. Even dozens of Nihility God beast cultivators were instantly restricted, and they were at Qin Fen's mercy. One could see how strong Qin Fen was now. However, what everyone present did not understand was that Qin Fen was not using realm, but an even higher level field. It was because of the formation of the field that the dozens of Nihility God beast cultivators were instantly restricted. Some of the powerful beast cultivators had already comprehended the boundary of realm, but they realized that in Qin Fen's realm, they could not resist at all. With a thought, the field was formed. Qin Fen only needed to casually slash a few times, or use a few balls of heavenly fire spirit sunflower, and he would be able to kill the dozens of so-called powerful beast cultivators. However, he was not in a hurry to act. He suddenly thought of the scene of Wu Hai using Saber Chi Realm. Therefore, he took out his ruler and slashed down aimlessly. That purple light was as mesmerizing as the sunset in the wilderness. The countless beasts and human cultivators in the sky were instantly mesmerized by it. When the Saber Chi landed on the field, the purple Saber Chi instantly slashed out a dark space. That space was like a void that had been torn apart, and it was filled with a thick aura of death. Collapsing space. Qin Fen's expression changed. He was very familiar with the aura of the black hole that appeared in the field. It was the same as the collapsing space that was formed after the sword domain was destroyed by the sword array. Back then, Qin Fen only thought of using the ruler to fill up the collapsing space. He did not expect that the ruler could also form collapsing space. 9 Pulse Legendary Sword, 10,000 swords become one, sword domain, outer realm flying. Qin Fen silently recited the mantra of the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword. A white light flashed in his mind, and he seemed to have comprehended something. He felt that the field around him had changed. The intensity of his senses became clearer. It was as if every corner of the field was under his control. As long as he willed it, he could change the magnetic field in the field at will. He could even cut out collapsing space. This feeling made Qin Fen very happy. He realized that he had achieved great success in this field. Moreover, he had begun to comprehend the edge of the domain, which was the sword domain described in the 3rd volume of the 9 Pulse Legendary Sword. I wanted to spare you this once and resolve the crisis of this beast tide peacefully. However, you are too arrogant. Don't blame me for starting a massacre. After achieving great success in this field, Qin Fen felt very carefree. He had an urge to go all out. As soon as he finished speaking, several purple rays slashed out. Instantly, dozens of collapsing spaces appeared in the field. Those collapsing spaces happened to envelop the dozens of hollow god beast cultivators. There was no strong movement. The dozens of hollow god beast cultivators were swallowed by the collapsing spaces. It was as if they were burned by heavenly fire. They disappeared without a trace in an instant. What's going on? The beasts were stunned. None of the tens of thousands of beasts guarding outside Hero City could give an answer. They saw the dozens of seniors disappear in the sky. There was no explosion, nor did they see any fighting. What are those black vortexes? It feels very strange. The dozens of seniors were swallowed by those black vortexes. It can't be a collapsing space, right? Finally, some beast cultivators guessed the truth. However, they would never have thought that the collapsing space was caused by Qin Fen. After knowing that a collapsing space had appeared in the sky above Hero City, many beasts panicked. It's actually a collapsing space. Everyone, run for your lives. There are no living beings in such a chaotic space. Even a cauldron-filling state or a disaster transformation expert would die instantly if they entered. Why did a collapsing space appear in the sky? Is the northern sand region going to perish? Many beasts had already fled. Su Xuanfei and the others hovered in the sky. When they saw the black hole appear, they revealed extremely grave and fearful expressions. Young hero Qin is in danger. Leave that space quickly. Looks like Hero City is really going to fall. Even the heavenly Tao is helping the beasts. Am I the only one who saw those black holes? Was it created by young hero Qin's weapon? What are you thinking? Even if young hero Qin really reached the advanced stage of the Nihility God realm, he can't create a collapsing space. That is a chaotic space that can destroy everything. Qin Fen didn't care about the discussions. After using the Tsang Chi to create a collapsing space and kill a group of Nihility God Beast cultivators, Qin Fan couldn't calm down. He was stunned by the power of this place. He even thought that if he encountered a cauldron-filling state primary stage, he would have a chance to kill his opponent as long as he made the first move. What's going on here? Are they planning to attack Hero City? Why are there so many human cultivators in the sky? What's going on with that space? What are those black vortexes? Why do we care so much? Let's kill these ant-like humans first. After killing dozens of Nihility God Beast cultivators, more beasts rushed over from all directions. These beasts were usually at the Buddha Light and True Spirit realm. Nihility God was already considered an expert. In the Northern Sand region, such a force was enough to destroy any large sect or faction. It was no wonder that even if the sects of the Northern Sand region joined forces, they would still be unable to defend against this beast horde. However, in Qin Fan's eyes, such cultivations were like ants. Seeing dozens of Nihility God and True Spirit Beast cultivators rushing over, Qin Fan displayed his realm again. Following that, he slashed out a few times. The places that were sliced apart by the purple light quickly formed a collapsing space. When the powerful beasts rushed into the vicinity of the black vortexes, they were instantly sucked in and disappeared. Chapter 2028. The gentle yet dazzling purple saber chi and the black cracks that kept appearing in the void formed a spectacular sight that attracted the attention of the crowd and the beasts. The dozens of beast cultivators who had just arrived were killed in an instant. They did not even know how they died. Young hero Qin is amazing. He killed a bunch of void god beast cultivators in an instant. The Northern Sand continent is safe. The beast horde is going to retreat. That damned human cultivator. How dare he slaughter the beasts? Everyone, let's go and tear him into pieces. The beasts were completely enraged. Countless black shadows charged into the sky, trying to destroy Qin Fan. The beasts instantly formed a dense encirclement in the void. At a glance, it looked like a huge black cloud surging towards Qin Fan. The people in Hero City and the human cultivators who were floating in the sky outside the city broke out in cold sweat. However, Qin Fan was still hovering in the sky on his flying sword. His expression did not change. This is the last warning. Leave the Northern Sand continent immediately or you'll die. Qin Fan's cold voice echoed in the sky like a god descending to the mortal world. The beasts did not retreat. Their expressions were ferocious and they wanted to tear him into pieces. Buzz! Waves of strange energy rippled out. The battlefield expanded rapidly and enveloped all the beasts that were charging at Qin Fan. Before the beasts could attack, a dazzling purple saber chi flashed across the battlefield. The saber chi was gentle and mesmerizing, but it was filled with murderous intent. Rumble. Explosions rocked the battlefield. Countless spatial collapses were created in the battlefield. The beasts sensed the danger as soon as they entered the battlefield. However, they realized it was too late. They could not move their bodies at all as if they were tied up by invisible ropes. They could only watch as the black holes approached them and were sucked into the spatial collapses, disappearing from the divine mainland. Bang! 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 Loud noises came one after another. It was the sound of Qin Fan using the ruler to create spatial collapses. All of the beasts that entered the area within a radius of several thousand meters around him would suddenly disappear without a trace. Oh my god! What kind of technique is this? We didn't even see young hero Qin make a move and the beasts disappeared on their own. It must have something to do with the black holes that appeared out of nowhere. Senior Su Xuanfei suspects that it's a spatial collapse. Spatial collapse. Why would a spatial collapse suddenly appear above Hero City? If that's the case, won't we also die if we continue to stay here? From the beginning to the end, no one dared to believe that the collapsed space was created by Qin Fen. This kind of space often appeared in some secret realms. It was a chaotic space formed by all kinds of planes intersecting. It was said that even cauldron-filling state and disaster transformation state cultivators would definitely die if they entered the collapsed space. The group of beasts were like moths flying into a flame. After one batch was killed, a new batch rushed in. In the short time it took for an incense stick to burn, more than 1,000 beasts had died. Sir Randall, this cannot go on. Why don't we retreat? Why don't you lead a few of your experts to kill off that human cultivator? That human cultivator is too strong. I think we should retreat first and wait for the Black Eye King to come before dealing with him. The beast tribe was in an uproar. Gradually, no one dared to fly into the sky anymore. That would be an act of suicide. Reed had long since been stunned by Qin Feng's methods. How could he dare to charge forward? If he did, he wouldn't even know how he died. At this time, another large group of beast cultivators arrived and landed around Rant. Rant, that kid should have a heaven-defying treasure that can create spatial collapses. A beast cultivator in the advanced stage of the Nihility God realm said. Rant was shocked. Holder, what did you say? Those spatial collapses were created by a human cultivator? Another beast cultivator in the advanced stage of the Nihility God realm jumped out and said, Rant, you are a disgrace to the beast tribe. A mere human cultivator can scare you like this. Holder and I have already observed. That human cultivator is only at Nihility God realm level 6. His cultivation is nothing to be afraid of. Any one of us can kill him. The main thing is to destroy his treasure so that he can't create spatial collapses. The tens of people that flew over were all at the advanced stage of the Nihility God realm. There were a few peak Nihility God realm beast cultivators like Rant. Such a lineup was enough to shock any sect in the North Sand region. As the leader of the first beast wave battle, Rant was now being questioned and mocked by a few beast cultivators that were slightly lower than him. This made him very unhappy. Humph. You make it sound so simple. That fella's spatial collapses covered the entire sky above Hero City. Once you enter, you will die. I want to see how you can think of a way to destroy his treasure. Even Rant thought that Qin Feng could create spatial collapses because he had a heaven-defying treasure. Otherwise, it would be hard for Rant to find any other reason. The dozen or so arrogant people fell silent. Then, they heard Holt say, that human cultivator said that as long as we retreat, he will stop killing. Rant laughed coldly. Kiki. That's the idea you came up with. If you want to retreat, bring your men and scram. I will follow the Black Pupil King's orders and defend the North Sand region. Even if I die, I will die in battle. Rant, the Black Pupil King isn't here. Put away your disguise. Who said I want to retreat? Can't you use your brain? Rant was furious. Who are you calling brainless? Then tell me, what is your plan? Rant and Holder were both capable subordinates of the Black Pupil King. Now that the outcome of occupying the North Sand region had been decided, the two of them hated each other for the sake of greater benefits. Holder laughed. Let's pretend to retreat first and get that human cultivator to stop temporarily. As long as the spatial collapses disappear, I am confident that I can kill that human ant over 100 times in a second. The tens of virtual god-beast cultivators around nodded. Elder Holder's suggestion is very feasible. Let's listen to Elder Holder. Later, get the other beasts to retreat first. The few of us will hide nearby. As long as that human ant keeps the spatial collapses, we will attack him together. After we kill that human ant, we will take down Hero City. This way, the North Sand region will be completely occupied. Even Rant felt that Holder's plan was perfect. However, his face remained cold. Seeing that Holder had stolen the limelight, he wanted to slap that detestable fellow to death. 5 minutes later. A shocking piece of news spread. The beasts were planning to retreat from the North Sand region and end this beast stampede. The beasts are retreating. How is that possible? They have already occupied the North Sand region. It might be the enemy's plot. Everyone, be careful. Don't let your guard down. Could it be that the beasts have been frightened by young hero Chin's might and are really planning to retreat? In just the time it takes for 2 incense sticks to burn, thousands of beasts have been killed. At this rate, no matter how many beasts there are, they will all be annihilated. The beasts' retreat was too sudden. It was hard for them to accept. Rant's voice came from the sky, "Young hero, the beasts have decided to retreat. I hope that you will show mercy and not start a massacre." Before Qin Fen could speak, Su Xuanfei shouted at Rant, "Why should we believe you? You have already occupied the North Sand region. Why are you suddenly retreating?" Rant said pretentiously, "This beast stampede has caused the beasts to suffer heavy casualties. If we continue to fight, there will be more beasts sacrificed. So what if we can occupy the North Sand region in the end? I don't want to see any more beasts sacrificed. If you don't believe me, I will order the beasts to retreat now." After Rant finished speaking, he sent a signal to the sky, and the hundreds of thousands of demonic cultivators gathered under Hero City immediately retreated. Standing in the sky, they looked like a dark mass of flowing rivers. Fuck. The beasts are really retreating. Everyone, be careful. Why do I feel that things are not so simple? Now that the beast stampede has retreated, you can stop now, right? Rant shouted at Qin Fen in the sky. The battlefield was still the same. Hundreds of small collapsed spaces were still churning. Qin Fen said to Su Xuanfei, "Elder Su, send out a flying sword and ask if the beasts in the other regions have retreated." Okay. Su Xuanfei and the others sent out flying swords to check the situation. When Rant saw this, his mouth twitched a few times. He had originally planned to only order the beasts in Hero City to retreat, but Holder insisted on evacuating the beasts in the surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers. Now, it seemed that Holder's decision was correct. It was like an invisible hand had slapped Rant in the face. A few minutes later, numerous flying swords shot over. When Su Xuanfei and the others checked the contents of the flying swords, they nodded at Qin Fen in the sky. Everyone was still in disbelief. The beasts had already occupied the Northern Sand region. Why did they retreat because of Qin Fen? It was said that the leader of this beast stampede, the Black Eye King, was extremely powerful. He was invincible in the entire Northern Sand region. Now, even the Black Eye King hadn't shown himself, but the beasts had retreated. It was really inexcusable. Although it was hard to believe, the truth was right in front of them. Not only did the beasts under Hero City leave, but the beasts in the surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers had also retreated. I hope that you are retreating sincerely. Otherwise, you will bear the consequences. Qin Fen's cold voice resounded in the sky. As he finished speaking, the black hole above Hero City suddenly disappeared. Oh my god! Those collapsed spaces were really created by young hero Qin. No wonder the beasts are afraid. Young hero Qin can even create collapsed spaces out of thin air. Even if the Black Eye King came, he would die. Friends of Hero City, quickly open the city gates and let everyone in. Everyone gradually let down their guard. Many people were already cheering as if they had won a battle. Qin Fen continued to hover in the sky on his sword. He still had some doubts about Rant's sudden retreat. It wouldn't be wrong to be more vigilant. Seeing that the area under Hero City had become empty and not a single beast could be seen, a dozen black shadows suddenly shot into the sky. They were as fast as lightning and no one noticed them. Ha! A mere empty god level 6 human ant wants to suppress this beast stampede with his own strength. He really overestimates himself. Stop talking nonsense with him. Everyone, attack with all your might and kill him instantly. As long as the collapsed space disappears, this human ant is nothing. You don't have to do anything. Let me kill him with one slap. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.